Hello, hi, hey, it is I, Agnes Eterna, and we're here today for another stream of Arknights of the Retracing Our Steps event. 12 days remaining. Hell, it's been a week. Okay, we have to continue. What was I going to say? Yeah, tomorrow I don't know if I'll be able to do a stream, so probably it's gonna be either Friday or Saturday night if possible. If not, then I'll fuck myself. I don't know. I'll record in the first minute of the stream. No, it's over. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't mind. What was I doing? Okay. Yeah. I had. So. Quick recap. There was an avalanche. There was the Victorians. There was the Colombians that were complaining about shit because the people of Kierak are very old. What's the word? Old-fashioned to say. Old-fashioned, very religious, and the innovations and all the technology and all that. The people are. What can you do? And the Colombians were. I mean, the people from Kierak was complaining about the Colombians because they thought that putting a laboratory or an observatory on their mountains was sacrilegious. The avalanche was the cause of the Colombians. And on the other side, there were the Victorians that brought help, but that's the help from the Victorians. It's always poisoned potatoes, as I like to say. So, if there's something going on, the Victorians are there. Are there right behind. So yeah, before I start with this thing is Silverash. This dude. Can he go to level 80? Can you go to level 80, buddy? Yes, he can. Nice. Can you be promoted? 4 of these. Do I have? I don't have more cubes. Anyway, here. Chips. I don't have them. Anyways. Let's continue with the stages. Oh, almost forgot. To the post. Yep, there we go. Among snowy shrubs, new friends bring opportunities if you seize the day. Okay, let's try. I have leveled up these girls too, and I wanted to, but In deployment direction, snow spreads on the ground. Oh, that's up to 5 tiles forward. 20 tiles, okay. Attack range expands, immediately lures all enemies within attack range for 10 seconds to the closest reachable ground near her. Increases snowfall speed, attacks ignore 10% rest, and every attack deals 250 attack as arts damage. Okay, let's try this one. Let's jump. Madame Rosados, I bring a message from my master regarding the meeting of the three clans a few days ago. The Polyroch's stance towards the outsiders is firm. We can never be too careful regarding the faithless. We must be even more vigilant now, with the Saints out on a pilgrimage and state affairs defer to the three clans. My master does not think ill of Circeodes, but it is true that Clan Silverash has been too close to the Victorians. We do not know if he has other intentions. My master has chosen to communicate with you, as he sees you as a woman who has always upheld Kirak's traditions. He is happy to meet with you in person, if you have any thoughts you would like to share. Are you finished? Out of respect for Arctos, please bring this message back to him. I don't know if Arctos is harboring a grudge because the catastrophe occurred on Polyroch's soil, and I don't care. But at the last meeting, we reached the conclusion that none of us should make a move with the direction from the Vine Beat Court. While the Saint is absent, the best thing we can do for the nation is to take care of our own business and avoid causing more issues. That will be all. I see that there's no avoiding these issues. I apologize. I don't know how to make a British accent. I apologize, but this little thing is no cause for concern. Let us return to the topic at hand: long-term cooperation between premium Victorian clothing brand and Clan Browntail. No, wait. With all due respect, Madame Browntail, I'm afraid this is not an issue I can ignore. If the people of Kirak are so hostile to Victoria, how are we to believe that any cooperation can last? Our three clans may have our differences, but I am the sole representative of Clan Browntail. You might take my word on that. The conflict between the three clans, I suppose that's not hard for a Victorian to understand. Not at all. With your lord and all that. I have made great efforts to learn about Kirak during my time here. Your culture is exotic and fascinating. While all of Kirak is united by your Kirak under fate, the same tenets seem to have had different influence on the three clans. The brave Polyroches, the clever Silverashes, but you Browntails. I must apologize that I find it hard to summarize your virtues in a single word. I suppose the way I will put it is that Clan Browntail is noble and trustworthy. My sympathy for the homework you have to do. Knowledge is the foundation of cooperation. Her Grace the Duke values cooperation with Kirak highly, and she is looking for a reliable, proper representative of your land to work with. A representative of Kirak? Is Her Grace unsatisfied with Carlan trade? Mr. Silverash is a most astute businessman, but this is also his greatest flaw. He will not permit any other winner in his game. I'm sure you understand, as his neighbor. In summary, therein lies the problem. The three clans might equally be Kiragander's children in name, but in the eye of an onlooker like me, they are not. Even an outsider like me can tell that your clan and the Polyroches have had virtually no effective role in response to this catastrophe. The Silverashes and Carlan Trade have not only monopolized Kirak foreign commerce, but also all of their foreign affairs. And your nominal head of state, the Saintess, Mr. Silverash's sister, seems to have no objection to the present situation. Mind your words, sir. Do not presume to blaspheme the Saintess' piety with your prejudice. Oh, I apologize if my frankness has offended you. Please understand that I am speaking out of good faith and simply convey what I have observed as an outsider. Cut to the chase. What's your proposal? A simple one. Victoria seeking friendly, equal, and truly mutually beneficial cooperation. effective, long-term cooperation, not one that only benefits one side or limited by narrow-minded nationalism. Her Grace thinks highly of Clan Browntail, and of you personally. My presence here is proof of that. The opinions of foreigners is of no importance to Clan Browntail. Your promise is the very proof of the shifting nature of Victoria's position. You are wrong if you think Clan Browntail is simply another clan Silverash, but easier to manipulate. No, of course not, Madame Ratatus. The Empire of Victoria does not seek subservience or dependence. She seeks to do the right thing. Of course. Oh, of course. Clan Silverash is a window that is sometimes open, sometimes closed. Only those inside the room can truly know its contents. Tell me, Madame Browntail, are you not tired of constant, meaningless tribal conflicts that haunt this land? Or perhaps you aspire to lead Kierak into a new era yourself? I think that will do for today. Thank you for your visit. I fully understand your proposal, and I have a message for you to bring back to the Duke. She does not yet have a sufficient understanding of Kierak, but I sincerely hope she will one day find it. Noted. Unfortunately, any commercial cooperation must remain on hold while political issues remain unresolved. But we have plenty of patience for important partners such as yourself. We look forward to your answer. Politically, I like political intrigue, but the politically is so fucking boring. I like when I don't like. I love when politics are represented as actions, not as talks about a table. I will burn as many treatments as they put in front of me. So don't show me what you're trying to do, and don't try to talk me into this. Dear Anxia, I hope this letter finds you well. By the time you read this, you will have already learned of my decision. Don't worry, think of it as your sister going on a long trip. She'll be back before you know it. I'm sorry that we'll have to put our plans for fondue at the Bed Court's kitchen on hold, but I promise I'll be good as my word once I get back. Don't worry about Ensiodes either. He has his plans, though he might be busy for a while. We'll count on you to take care of things at home, alright? There are a lot of things going on. Stay safe and be especially careful when going out. I hope I'll find you as cheerful as always when I return. I'll pray to Kiragander for both of you. P.S. Remember to keep your appointments at Rhodes Island, follow your doctor's order, and wear protective gear when climbing the mountains. A letter from India. Yeah, it's always like this. Same for Ensiodes. He's quite enough at home to begin with, and ever since I came back from my trip, he's barely been around. These are exceptional times. They are doing all they can to protect Kierak. All we can do is trust them and support them. I know. I just wanted to blow off some steam. They still treat me like a kid, never telling me anything. I don't even know what I'm worrying for. I want to help them too. Lady Ancia, Master Chester, is Ensiodes here? He's probably at the office. Why? A herald has arrived from the Bed Court. They say they are meeting with Clan Palerochi to discuss cooperation in the joint mining venture, and they want Ensiodes to submit the relevant documents early. I have the documents, but submit them early. Is this a temporary notice? The herald didn't explain. Very well, prepare the car, I'll go. Before he can finish, Encia grabs the documents and runs out the door. You can stay home, Uncle Chester. Let me handle it. Encia, come back! Silenciosa said you're not to go outside without permission. It's alright. Silenciosa must have forgotten to bring this with him. I'll have a good laugh at him later. Come on, let's go. Oh dear. I should let Silenciosa know. A brown car is driving on the mountain path to the vine bed court. Sitting in the back seat, Arctos rubbed his neck. Why call me over so early in the morning? Is the mind seem so urgent? I heard Silenciosa often stays overnight at the company these days. An early morning meeting will feed his recent routine. It's not like there's much to discuss. I'm just waiting for the Silverash documents to say enough fun. Give me the menus from last time, Gulo. I'll take another look. Yes, sir. Sitting in the passenger seat, Gulo takes the documents from the glove box and is about to hand them to Arctos, when the car is violently jolted. Ah! What was that? Falling rocks! They almost hit us! Falling rocks? Here? The car is once again violently jolted before he could finish, as falling rubble slams against the trunk. It's not safe inside. We need to get out there. The road ahead is blocked. Fire! The three of them abandon the car and run to the mountainside, but the amount of falling rubble is overwhelming. Look out! A rock falls towards Arctos. Gulo pushes him out of the way and is struck by the sharp edge of the rock in his forehead. His massive frame falls on the ground, bleeding. Arctos crawls towards Gulo and pulls him closer to the mountain, leaving a long trail of blood in the ground. The blood is soon covered by the falling rocks. Gulo! Gulo! The tranquility of the mountain is broken by the roaring sound of engines as the morning mist disperses. Tranquility is not what the Gambrecher seeks right now. She pushes her bike to its limits. The scenery flies by swiftly, but she does not see what she's looking for. The tracks are still visible on the road. The target was here not long ago. There! There! The Gambrecher jumps off the bike and rounds a corner. The cars are burning on the road after a collision, sending rancid smoke skywards. The Gambrecher pulls her weapon and creates a gust that extinguishes the fire, revealing the familiar silhouette of Silverash car. The door is easily cut open. There is no one inside. The Gambrecher's worst fears have not come true. She hears the sound of rocks clashing from the direction of the cliff. The Gambrecher looks down at the source of the sound and finds the one she's looking for, despite the dirt and soot on her face. The Gambrecher! Hanging off the side of the cliff with a hook, Hensia looks up at the Gambrecher, unsure how to hide her embarrassment. I guess I screwed up. Hensia, please. Say something fluffy. Her kingdom promises not tomorrow, nor was it built for yesterday. Those who walk the present are closest to her. Her blessings are ever beneath the traveler's feet. The snowflakes stick to her fur collar. The lone traveler pulls her hood tighter and walks up the mountain against the cold wind that blows through the forest. Enya pulls her cloak tighter around herself, her steps slowed by falling branches mixed with snow. The clerics often say that Kiragan tests her people with wind and snow, but Enya knows she will never torment her like this. Kiar. The scientists see the smoke of a campfire deep in the woods. Perhaps there is a place to rest. Enya walks towards it and finds the fire still burning, providing a rare source of warmth. She reaches out to it at once. The hides hanging around shows that it belongs to a hunter. Short shrubs surround a lone wooden house, but the owner is nowhere to be seen. Then one of the shrubs rustles. The tip of a metal bolt protrudes from it, pointing towards the campfire. Who's there? Enya turns around quickly, but not quick enough to avoid the bolt that strikes her right leg, soaking her thick, clotted with blood. She raises her veil instinctively as she stumbles from the pain. The attacker has emerged from the bushes, aiming his next bolt at the saint's heart. Whoosh! The attacker falls as the bell rings, his body quickly covered in snow. Slowly, the small lump turns red. It was not the holy bell that did this. Enya gets closer, and sees a crossbow bolt into the attacker's neck. A rogue hand, small but strong, grabs Enya's shoulders and pulls her to one side. Monch! Another bolt cuts through the air, taking down another attacker, but more of them continue to emerge from the forest. Host of bandits! How dare you commit murder at my camp while I'm away? Oh! A snow hunter! A young huntress carrying a heavy crossbow that seems too big for her stands in front of Enya. She smells of herbs and cloud beast. Stop daydreaming! You're a Silverash. What are you doing here? Never mind. Stay close to me! Assassins towards the priestess, the saintess.
遅れている子はいない?
Be prepared because there will be no mercy for your soul.
Control group ready. Do you have a new conjecture?
戦況は明白だ。図らず雪がすべて葬るのを待とう。
餌はこっちだ。まだ雪に埋もれてないフン。ついさっきまでここにいた。
氷雪の溶けるが刻。
Is this avalanche trigger for a short time? Okay, the avalanche trigger. I know this one.
経験に罠を仕掛けて。
決断、雪がすべて葬るのを待とう。
神はいずこにもお忘れ。
A little bit more than normal.
考えが一致した。
Come on, Silverash.
すべて葬るのを待とう。
神はいず関空はあまねく平等ね。
What is your hypothesis?
Flip.
私、目を大きく開けて。
氷雪の溶けるが刻。
Tortoise flip.
決断を氷雪の溶けるが如く。
ライギリーってこれ刀じゃない。マリア。
Adesso. So cute when she yells the skill activation signal.
まだ雪に埋もれてないフン。ついさっきまでここに。
なん己が道の正しきを打つ。
Marking significant trends.
Come on, little bird.
今から先イベントにたくさん出てきたけど。
雪がすべて葬るのを待とう。
神はいず関空はあまねく平等なり。
Turtles flip.
決断を何時いずれ浄土を踏み荒らせしことを悔いん。
65 seconds by 50 seconds is not bad.
決断を氷雪の溶けるが如く。
一発で仕留める。
Flip.
Mission accomplished.
And it's over. This is... Oh, one sec. This is my home. Last I saw that we're going to the opposite way. It's safe here. I'll fry you up and then you need to leave. Thank you. Don't talk and don't fidget, Silverash. Your wounds aren't that bad. There was some distance and your sick clothes absorbed some of the impact. And those sick tides! But the ball... the sick tides indeed save lives. But the bolt has a hooked head. It will hurt when I pull it out. I'll try to be steady. The young huntress snaps the arrow shaft and grabs the remaining part. She glances at the wounded woman, who simply nods, showing no sign of fear. The huntress takes a deep breath and slowly pulls the arrow. Even she shivers at the sensation of the hook grating against flesh. Ugh. She does her best to keep her hands steady until the arrowhead is completely pulled out. Finally! Thank you. Very much. Not done yet. Hang in there a little longer. He takes out a packet of powdered medicine, lifts the edge of Enya's dress, and rubs it skillfully on the wound before bandaging it up. You can tell if it hurts. I won't laugh. I don't want to make you more nervous. It will only hurt more if your hands are shaking. Eh? Ah, the fluff beast! A slender snow-white cloud beast pokes its head out of the huntress hood, hanging onto her braids, with its claws poking its wet nose around Enya's fur collar. Then it reaches out to sniff as the strangers descend. Don't touch it. It doesn't like strangers. Before the huntress can finish, Enya's finger has already reached the little cloud beast's chin. Simply touching its soft fur seems to bring warmth to her heart, even in the bitter cold. Ah! The cute... the uwu mouth. Get back in, Rift Cloud Beast. You call it the Rift Cloud Beast? Sisuf. Ah! Come to think of it, I don't know your name yet, my hero. Joanna. I don't need to know your name, Silverash. Don't think for a moment that we're friends. Why? You have been good to me. And how have you people treated me? Forget it. Nothing to do with you anyway. By you people, do you mean Clan Silverash? Or Ensiodes? Not just him. My dad says the Silverashes has been obsessed with blaspheming Kiragander ever since Ensiodes' father was clan leader. He poured asphalt on Kiragander's backbone and poison on Kiragander's tail. His greed led to his downfall. Ensiodes hasn't learned his lesson. He's done even more to wreck Kiragander's peace. But his greatest sin was the hole he dug in Kiragander's flesh. This disaster is proof that Silverash has angered Kiragander. But Kira can stay in snowy mountains forever. Haven't industry and trade brought us better lives? Why would the kind Kiragander punish us just because we're living better lives? Better lives? You Silverashes sit by the warm fireside, eating the best food and drinking the best wine. But who has to pay the price? Us! We do! Many beasts lived at the foot of the mountain when I was little. For 1,000 years they lived off the land, drank from the rivers, and went back to the forest to find berries and leaves. But Carlantra's railroad divided the mountain and rivers, forcing the beasts to risk their lives crossing the railway. You even blame them when your trains run them over. The beasts were forced to move higher, but there isn't enough room there for large packs. They had to fight each other for space and food, and their numbers dwindled. Not to mention all the cloud beasts that are sensitive to noise. You had no idea how many died, and how I ended up taking in my Rift Cloud Beast. But the farmers by the mountain need the fertilizers and seed that the trains bring, and sick people on the mountains need medicine. Where's the bountiful game that Kiragander once gifted us then? The beasts grow fewer each year. Even water from the spring is less sweet. My family made a living hunting in the mountain for generations, following the holy teachings of Kiragander, and we show our faith by sculpting statues in her image. That, myself, and my siblings, we always pray to Kiragander, always pay respects. Why are we the ones who have to pay the price? Spooked by the sudden outburst, the Rift Cloud Beast leaps down from Atlantic Joanna and goes over to Enya. Enya bends down and lifts it up, placing it back on Joanna's shoulder. Don't move, or your wounds will reopen. This is the first time I heard about any of that. If you want to argue, go ahead, Silverash. No, I don't. I'm different from the others. I have to stay home most of the time, and what I know about the land today comes mostly from the accounts of others. Sometimes I go out and experience things for myself, but it's not enough. Kiragander will never abandon any children of Kirag. I promise. You better promise yourself that you pull through whatever's going on. What was with those bandits anyway? I know all the hunters living at the mountain. I didn't recognize any of those guys. I think they came for me. For you? Do you have enemies? It's a long story. If that's the case, you better stay put tonight. They won't give up so easily. My dad's friend has a shop in town, and my siblings have been helping out this past few days. I'll go get some medicine from him and get help to fight the bandits. No, don't. Why? Are you afraid to be on your own? My father is strong. I can be back by tomorrow morning if I go down the mountain now. That's not what I'm worried about. Why? Your Silverashes are such a bother. If you have something to say, just say it. If you can't fight, I have no choice but to get help from town. That's the deal. Wait, I can tell you. Anya hurriedly gets up, tugging at the sleeve of the huntress who is about to leave, causing her own cloak to fall off. The Saintess. Actually, I'm sorry. Please, Your Holiness, punish me for my insolence. No, I'm not going to punish you. Please, just sit down. Enya tries to stop the huntress, but she quickly takes a step back, putting more distance between herself and Enya. She turns to leave, but then she remembers something and spins back around and bows reverentially to Enya before finally leaving the room. General Gulo, could you knock on the chief door before backing in, mother horn boy? What are you doing here? I was accompanying Lady Ensha for a checkup. She suffered a car accident this morning, but fortunately she's unharmed. I was told you were here too, so I thought I should pay a visit. Are you alright? Just a scratch. But... Wait, you said something happened to the young Silverash lady? Lady Ensha was delivering something to Silencios when she suffered a head-on collision with another vehicle on the way to the Vine Bit Court. It was fortunate that Madame Dagenbrecher quickly arrived on the scene. You said she was going to the Vine Bit Court too? Strange. My master received a summons from the Vine Bit Court this morning, saying there was a meeting and it was on the way there that we were struck by falling rocks. Did you hear anything from the Browntails? No, not yet at least. What's the matter with the Browntails? No wonder Siddharthos was fuming when he left. I haven't seen him so angry in a long time. But this... Listen, brother, I need you to do me a favor. Can you ask Silencios to go to the Browntail Manor at once? Siddharthos is even more hot-headed than I am. I'm afraid he might do something impetuous. Silencios is the only one who can stop him. I see. I'll let him know immediately. I suggest you get your head checked out at the hospital, Arthos. The symptoms of a mild concussion are easy to miss. Don't try to change the subject. Answer me, why is it that only Clan Silverash and mine were attacked, while you, Browntail, sit safe and sound in your home? What do you know? Everything that I know about what happened today came from you. More excuses! Even the servants of Silverash knew to show concern and tell me that Ence suffered too. But what about you? You look like you couldn't care less, like it's something more than a piece of snow falling on the ground. Is this the Browntail stance? I apologize for my demeanor. All of Kierak has suffered in the recent days. I ask for your understanding. Enough of this hypocrisy. You don't know there's been gossip going around about the Browntail witch. I never took it seriously. I couldn't care less what you did as long as you did it for Kierak and Kieragander. But now, when did Kieragander teach you to stab your allies in the back, Ratatos? Watch your words, Arctos. Do not disrespect Kieragander even if you intend to insult and provoke me. Stop dodging the question and answer. Was Clan Browntail involved in attacking me and Encia? You're wasting your time. I already told you multiple times I know nothing about it, and I express my sympathies. If that's your final answer, then don't accuse me of going too far. What do you mean? Don't think I'm out of Paleroche just because you took Gula out of action. Before I went out and told my men I told my men when to show. Clan Brontail Estate will thoroughly search it. I didn't want to go this far, but I'm afraid Sears and Hellchildren will have to bear with me a little. You there? You made me do this, Ratatos. The door to the Dragon room flies open without warning. Arthos draws his sword immediately. Sharp-tied Browntail guards raise their weapon too and stand in front of Ratatos. I take it you already discussed the incidents that occurred today. I came for the same reason and I have reached certain conclusions. Please stand down. Seeing that Arthos has sheathed his sword, Ratatos raises a hand and her guards hesitantly back off. Good timing, Ensiodes. With the leaders of Clan Polaroch and Silverash both present, we demand a thorough audit of Clan Browntail documents and cooperation from Clan Browntail in the investigation. Sorry, Arthos, but I don't assent to the demand. What? Why would Ratatos want to get rid of us? Assassinating the heads of the other two clans at this moment would only cause saving more chaos. Clan Palaroche has the most warriors, while Clan Silverash runs Scarlet Trade. Ratatos could not hope to keep the situation under control if you and I both died in an accident. Meanwhile, retribution will be swift and harsh. Am I right? Ratatos avoids Ensiode's gaze and nods slightly. That doesn't explain why Clan Browntail wasn't attacked. Maybe a coincidence, maybe the bad timing. Maybe the attackers had something planned for the Browntails too, and we just don't know about it. You won't convince me with talk of coincidence, Ensiodes. Who would have done such a thing if not Ratatos? This is not a question we can solve in a short time. Don't forget that there are plenty of people looking to take advantage of the chaos and take a piece of Kirak for themselves. This assassination coincide with the arrival of Victorian aid. The mastermind wants to keep us from working together. The Victorians did this? They are potential suspects, as is any foreign politician who attempts to intervene at this juncture. Therefore, I would like to maintain the status quo of our previous meeting. I will continue to handle all external affairs, including those involving Victoria. I will discover the truth, for Clan Paleroche, for the peace of the three clans, and for Encia. I'll trust you one last time. Don't you dare look smoke, Ratatos. You got lucky today. You can sing and see the sound serious. If it turns out you're behind all this after all, you'll get what's coming to you. The sturdy Ursus slams the table, then turns and leaves. Thank you for calming that maniac down, Ensiodes. But I'm exhausted. I'm sure you understand how tiring it is to deal with baseless accusations. If you suspect me and want to question me, there is no need for that. Trust between the three clans has never been more important than now. I have other urgent matters to attend to. I'll take my leave. Pardon me for not seeing you out. A false flag, of course. If they are blaming one of the three clans that has the less military power, then why would they do that? First of all, why would they try to do that? Second, as Cynthia said, the Victorians just arrived. And this problem only started when the Victorians just arrived. And they don't know about Pramanix, about what happened with the scientists. So, give me a sec. Exia wasn't hard. You can rest easy. I was the one they were after. Obviously, the accident was very lightly staged. They targeted your car without knowing who was inside. Something's not right. It's too far forward. It's just that the people behind us want to make the point that they have no qualms about deploying extreme measures. They are trying to sow chaos and suspicion. The act itself is more important than the result. There is another possibility. Perhaps it's not me, Encia, or Arthos whom they are truly after. There will be trouble on the mountains. It's Enya they are after. If anything happens to the scientists at this point, it will serve to affirm all the conspiracy theories and drag Kiera further into the quagmire. I need you to protect Enya, Dragonbreacher. Enya said that a long time ago. I can't promise anything. You need to prepare for the worst. I believe in Enya. You believe. And you would not provide any of your basis for that belief to reassure me, like you usually do? Correct. I believe.
一網打尽ってやつだな。
This idiot believes more in his Japan than in their own Cheragander. It's kind of weird because it's like he's potentially one of the most siscon characters in the whole gacha sphere, but at the same time he puts his own sister at risk a lot. It's like, yeah, I know that she will survive. I know she will survive, and he sends her alone to do peregrination, to do the trial of the saints and all that. No, she has the flus. She will survive under the snow. But it's always doing it for the thing it does, like, yeah. That's kind of why the Chris Redfield memes with Silverash feels so funny to me, because it's exactly the point that Silverash will make if Pramanix wasn't a scientist, of course, because he did the scientist thing already. So if Pramanix wasn't the scientist, he will throw Pramanix to Rhodes Island, or Encia maybe. Well, Encia is already in Rhodes Island with the whole cooperation thing that they do and all that, because Encia was part of an assassination attempt and got infected. But the Chris Redfield memes are what he can do. Not because it's out of character, but it's just because he would like to have his sister protected, but he also at the same time he knows she can survive by herself. And she is a strong person enough to make to not be just upon when sent on a political mission. I kind of like and dislike Silverash just like that, just because of that. So yeah, Snow Hunter. Cutie Pie. No 3. Let's level her up. I don't know if I have the... Oh yeah, I have. Twin Blizzard Bolts.
このメダルって何に使うんだ？ それがあるともっとたくさん報酬がもらえるのか。なるほど。ありがとうなドクターさん。
Cute. Level 20.
みんななかなかいいの
And
でし
here
て
it is. Immediately fires the special bullets, dealing 120 attack for 2 shots. Increases to 160 when hitting non-mobile enemies. Oh. That's a problem.
手に負えないものにあったのか。
Wait. I don't have the... Yes, I have. Okay, there we go.
経験なるものにこそ与えられる。
Launch! Ah, did I tell you not to bother me today? Who's... Sister? What are you doing here? Don't you just stand there? Take a seat. What's the matter? Can't sleep? I thought I told Yucatan to keep a close eye on you. No. She shakes her head. I told Yucatan not to come with me. I wanted to talk to you one-on-one. Eh? Ratatos never thought she would see this expression of her sister, who is usually so cheerful and straightforward. Alright, but only for a little bit. Then you go back to bed. Acting like a little girl when you're supposed to be a mom already. I heard Arctus shouting in the drawing room today. So he did disturb you. I'll have his hairy head for this. No, it's not that. I heard what you were arguing about, and I know many bad things have been happening lately. Please, Rata, if you do know something, tell me. Bye, Kiragander. You shouldn't be worrying about these things right now, serious. You'll have plenty to worry about once you take my job. But there's been trouble after trouble. Even I, shut up in my room, can tell that things are getting worse. I see unhappy faces outside the window every day, not to mention we haven't heard anything back from Monch. I have people searching for her. I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure she's fine. Hey, don't forget that she's one of the best, the finest Brontel warriors. I know. It's you I'm really worried about, Rata. I never helped very much, but there was a time when I could at least stand by your side and give you my support. But now, you're facing all this on your own. I wish you would talk to me more. There's no need to carry everything on your shoulders. Yucatan and I have your back, no matter what. You think too much, my silly little sister. Are you really in such a hurry to take over for me? That's not what I promise you, Sirius. I'll protect you and Yucatan and all of Clan Brontel. If it's the last thing I do. Kiragander be my witness. You are as suicidal as Grossa. Fuck! You still don't believe me, but you gotta believe Kiragander, right? There's no need to go that far. Alright, then promise me you're going to bed now. Tomorrow will be a better day. You honor me with your invitation, Madame Bromtel. I take it you think it has changed then. Cut the crap. Assassinating the members of Clan Silverash and Clan Pramanix, driving a rift between the three clans. Is it how you intend to coerce me into working with you? I thought Victorian politicians were smarter than that. The man smiles nonchalantly. I'm not sure how such a notion could have ever occurred you, Madame Bromtel. Assassinating the leadership of another country in their own soul. It will be tantamount to a declaration of war, if it could be proven. Are you sure you want to accuse Victoria of such crimes? So this is why you people seem so smug about yourselves. I'm not sure I understand your meaning, but since you have deigned to meet with me today, I am very happy to listen. Is there anything I can help you with? Go on, act smug. Your crude little plot worked, huh? The relationship between the Palaroches and Brontel has broken down completely, and I have become the most suspicious one here. As for Ensiodes, He just spun his tale about how the three clans wanting stability to hoodwink that fool Arthas. He knows full well that I, in the present state of Kirak, should the leader of any of the clans meet an accident, it will take little effort to demoralize the already disheartened people. If he learns of our meeting, he will not hesitate to join forces with the Valeroches to attack me, even if he knows full well I didn't promise you anything. After all, what Kirak needs right now is a culprit, one to place all the blame on. In that event, it's entirely possible that Clan Brontel will be wiped off the map. I don't have much time left. My sympathies, ma'am. I am in full agreement with your assessment of the situation. Do you intend to turn things around then? Let's get it straight to the point. First, I want an absolute guarantee that you will prioritize the safety of Clan Brontel and the people of my domain, no matter what happens. Of course, we have long sympathized with the ordinary folk who have become marginalized by Clan Silverash. It is one of our major goals for peaceful cooperation with Kirak. Say whatever you want. Second, all the trade policies currently in place will remain, so when Clan Brontel takes over the Galan trade, and Victoria must not withdraw any assistance currently offered to Kirak. Otherwise, we reserve the right to terminate our cooperation with immediate effect. Not something you want to happen. You need not worry, madam. We are more eager than eager to cooperate with Kirak, and would never dream of undermining this partnership. There will be much room for further cooperation once you become the sole representative of your nation. Good. Taking over Galan trade isn't something that can be accomplished overnight. I need time to prepare, and the first order of business is to deal with Arthas. I know that man, and he will come looking for trouble if he finds out Clan Brontel has been working with Victoria. In a sense, he's an even bigger problem than the others. That bloody fool. Most regrettable. The decision is yours, Madame Brontel. How should we pursue Arthas? I will contact him again for one final meeting. Oh? There is an old Brontel manor at the foot of the mountain in the southwest, an area that is virtually uninhabited. I will send Arthas a message, telling him to meet me there tomorrow, where I will explain the truth. The time of meeting is set at 7 PM, 15 hours from now. I hope Victoria will demonstrate its good faith. Of course, you will not be disappointed. We look forward to your persuasion of Clan Valeroche. I have a feeling. The mountain wind carries the snow, battering the high thatched roof. A few dry leaves are blown into the air, landing onto the braids of the girl sitting on the rooftop. She picks it out and rubs it in her fingers. The rift cloud bespoke pokes its head out from behind the girl's shoulders, rubbing against her red cheeks. Rift Cloud Beast, I'm just clearing my head. You don't have to come out and be cold with me together. The little white creature, which has endured many hard days and nights with Johanna, purrs gently. Thanks. I don't know how to face the Saintess. She's the vicar of Kiragandar. I should love and honor her, but how could these things happen? Why must my family be punished? The girl sat quietly on the roof, rift, cloud beast in her arms, until the fine snowflakes covered her hair in white. The door leading to the backyard is pushed open. The visitor has added a few shallow footprints on the snow. Enya sees 3 scattered crossbows as she walks to her left and picks up one to examine it. It is smaller than the one that Johanna uses. Enya casts her gaze in front, and there are 3 targets standing a short distance away, with a few bolts on them that have yet to be retrieved. They started training at such a young age. There is a name on the stock. Does it belong to her siblings? And just attention is drawn to a bunch of sculptures scattered haphazardly on the ground at the other end of the yard. Their visage is a familiar one. And he approaches the largest amongst them and holds it before her. The sculptor was obviously extremely skilled. Kiragandar is smiling gently upon her. This is It's like the one we built at like Silverhearts. I guess this is what they all think you look like. There are other sculptures lying by her feet, and Enya picks up one of them. This one is a liquor. The chisel marks on the face draw her, giving it a sense of harshness. Perhaps the sculptor has used too much force when sculpting the face, and chiseled off a little too much. It's not right, is it? Doesn't it look like Kiragander at all? The face needs to be a little thinner, and the body... Will you hit the plea of your humble handmaid, Saintess? And yeah, please. See, it looks better when the face is rounded. She carefully puts the two sculptures of different sizes back. In this very unfamiliar backyard, Enya puts her hands together and prays towards the statue of Kiragander, as the elders of Bite Court often do. Yep, Pramanix knows she's a follower of the Church of Tightness, of Sickness, Sick Tig. And face too, I guess. She does not make any wish. She only hopes for a miracle. The sun has set, but the hunter still sits in the yard. She hurriedly gets up to go when she sees Enya, but the latter lays a hand on her shoulder. Saintess, no need for formalities. It's just us two. I will prefer if you call me Enya. As you wish. After greeting Enya, the girl looks aside and falls quiet again. There were a lot of Kiragander sculptures in the backyard. Did you and your family make them yourselves? They look a little different. Is it because people interpret the image of Kiragander depicted in the old books differently? My dad made the ones that look like her. I made the ones that don't. I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask. Why did you make all those sculptures? My family is a branch of Clan Paleroche that went into the Montes of Kiragander orders. We have been hunters ever since. We believe in all the lives in the mountain share Kiragander's soul, and we are all part of the eternal cycle of life within her. In gratitude for the blessings of Kiragander, every member of our family must learn to sculpt the image of Kiragander once we're old enough to hunt alone. We also make leather jackets, bone sculptures, and accessories with her mark. Here, blessed hunter, are the whisper of the wind and the grass not her hymns? Are the creatures that walk and fly not she embodied? The cycle of life and death is the cycle of water and ice. There is neither beginning nor end. Speak of Kiragander's wisdom and love, and listen. Rely not on things and omens, but seek upon snow-covered peaks. And become one with her. Yes, this part feels different from the other parts of Kiragander. I always get stuck here. The details of the scriptures are not what matters the most. What's important is to be constantly mindful that Kiragander watches and listens to our words and deeds. You may not remember the complicated verses, but you're living, hunting, and sculpting in accordance with her teachings. Even as a saintess, I might never have truly understood the meaning of this passage if I hadn't met you. You're one of the most pious faithful I ever met. Kiragander will protect your family. Really? Yes. I'm her chosen saintess, after all. She will appear when we need her most, no matter what hardship we face. Tears roll down the young cheeks of the huntress who always puts on a strong front, falling and melting the snow by their feet. Johanna? What's the matter? Can you tell me? And you take Johanna's trembling hand in hers. When I first learned to hunt, I was bitten by an infected beast, and I got neuropathy. That hunted every day I make those sculptures, and after coming back from the hunt, that he could sell them in town to buy medicine for me. And he did it for years. A few days ago, that friend told me he was at the station the day the catastrophe happened. If I didn't... Johanna... Why, Kiragander? The grieving girl drops to the ground, curled up in a fetal position. Anya kneels by her side, trying to find words of consolation, but for all the scriptures she has memorized, none have an answer. After a brief hesitation, she begins by patting the girl's back. There's a lump in her throat. If even eternal Kiragander can fall silent, what could her saintess possibly do? Are you listening, Kiara? Sitting by the window, the rift cloud beast suddenly grows with as much volume as it can muster and darts back into Joanna's hood. Joanna sniffles and wipes her tears with her palms. Someone's coming. I'll get the door. Young lady, how do I get to the nearest town? Are you lost? Do you see those lights? Follow the trail down the mountain and follow the lights whenever you come to a crossroads. It's getting dark, and my eyesight is poor. I'll walk with you. No, I can't leave right now. You could spend the night here and head down once the sun rises. No, I shouldn't trouble you. I'll find the path down the mountain. What is it? Just an old man who got lost. You're quite far from town. Do people pass by here often? No. My family are the only ones who live here. I don't see many passersby. In fact, you were the first. Look out! Ah!
ホルンが鳴ったから次はド
The
ラムの出番だ。
victorians!
Do you have a new conjecture? What is your performing data derivation?
But okay.
戦況は明白だ。
Who is Xian?
経験に祈りなさい。お聞きなさい。
Wait, what?
決断の強説の解けるが
I didn't expect this to be. Okay, my bad.
無事に帰ってくれたら勝ち。
Yep.
図らず強説の解けるが
なんとさまつな抵抗でしょう。
Nope, this isn't working.
今から戦うイベントにたくさん出てきたけ
Go,
ど
heal that
カオ
Silverash.
ス見たことないよ。
Oh, for fucking sake.
神はいずこにもおわすものです。
図らず強説の解けるが
迷っている暇がありませんね。
Performing data derivation.
Can I?
敵への情けは無用よね。
Down the drain you go.
図らず何で
Boom.
己が道の正しきを疑わずして深みに陥りきる
あら、見えていないとでも思って。
いずれ浄土を踏み荒らせしことを悔いん
Boom. Down the drain you go. And another one.
図らず強説の解けるが如く
What is your performing data derivation?
どうせ死ぬなら道連れにしてやる。
Wow.
図らず強説の解けるが如く図らず強説の解けるが如く
And there we go. Oof. I'll go get some water. I'll come back in a second. Here I am. Back already, Gulo. That wasn't a Spanish accent. I didn't want to do that. Back already, Gulo. You still have the ghost on your head. I told you to think before you act. You get back to the hospital right now and stay in bed. Master, I heard that you're going to meet with Tatatos again and they brought this invitation. You can't go. What? You think I'm afraid of her? That witch says she's going to tell me the truth. I'm eager to see what she spews from that mouth of hers. But Master, the meeting is on Bronte turf. This is clearly a trap. You think I don't know? Apollo Roche never run from a fight. Just because it's her turf doesn't mean Apollo Roche is helpless there. You know what? Seeing that ghost in your head is making me doubly mad. I don't care how mad you are, Master. I'm sitting right here at the door. I'm not budging until you change your mind. And what does any of that have to do with you? It's my own fault I got hurt and couldn't protect you. All I can do is stop you from putting yourself in danger. I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at these bloody brown tails. Don't worry. I'll settle the score for you. I'll show them nobody messes with Clan Paleroche. Get out of the way, brother. Master. All yours. Take General Gulo back to his room. Several warriors help Gulo up and help him walk back to his room. I'm not afraid of them, but I won't go unprepared. Fine. Prepare a few more cards, boys. Dinner is ready, Madame Studios. What about the matriarch? Will she not join us? Matriarch has just left. She says not to worry about her. I remember the matriarch saying she had a meeting with Clan Paleroche today, but it's so early. Did she go alone? We're not sure. Something doesn't feel right, Yucatan. Go after her. Alright. One moment, please. Madame Studios and Master Yucatan. What is it this time? The matriarch left orders before she left. We are not to allow the two of you to leave home tonight. Under any circumstances. Shit. Saints, get down! Raz, who are those people? How dare they attempt to murder the Saints on Jirak's soil? Maybe they got enough from Jirak. They are dangerous. Don't worry, Saints, I'll protect you with my life. They won't get in so easily. Don't underestimate the hunter of Jirak. The young huntress looks and loads her heavy crossbow, barely taking any time to aim at it through the broken window before pulling the trigger. It is immediately followed by multiple screams. Hit! Careful, there are a lot of them. We can't just stay here. We need to get out. What do we do? Calm down. Calm down. Listen to me. Laying prone on the snow, the attacker gestures to those behind him to remain hidden. They learn their lesson the hard way. They slowly close in on the house, on guard against the crossbow bolts that can be fired from the window at any time with uncanny accuracy. They could see a shadow move behind the curtain, and the edges of the curtain sway. The attacker raises his crossbow. The poison bolt strikes the figure behind the curtain. He hears the sound of the body hitting the floor. There's silence. Hit. Not sure if he's down. Units 2, 3, and 4, hold position. Unit 1, with me. Approach with care. The intel says there are 2 of them. Several figures sneak up to the house, breaking in once they have determined no sound coming from inside. What? This? It's a wooden sculpture. The sculpture of Kiragander lies on the ground, a crossbow bolt sticking out of its head. The silence did not notice the delicate sound of machinery operating as they entered the room. They hear the ringing of a bell while their arms and legs go weak. 5 loaded crossbows and a massive net take aim at these invaders. They fell for it, just like you said. It's better defend for damaging the sculpture of Kiragander. Now, run! Alpha, report. Valeroche convoy has cleared the third checkpoint. Confirm target position. Back seat of the lead car. Shall we engage? Affirmative. Wait, there's a change in the situation. Target stop moving. No direct line of sight. I can see what's going on. Frontier warriors? What are they doing here? Stand by. I'm calling number 1. What's the meaning of this? Your mother told us to come meet her, then send you to stop us? The location of the meeting is just ahead, said Arctos. This will only take a minute of your time. Please, allow us to search your vehicles, in the interest of safety. What a yoke. You're afraid of a handful of boys when you people pick the location. You people are cowards. The orders came from the Matriarch Ratatos. We request your cooperation. Do what you want. I got nothing to hide. No issues. You may proceed now, said Arctos. Not so fast. You searched us. No, we searched you. Search every nook and cranny from here to the Brontel Manor, the road and everything around it. You find anybody suspicious, take them in. Yes, sir. Report on the digest location. Alpha. Come in, Alpha. Alpha, can you hear me? Report. What's going on? Come on, the target car has entered surveillance zone and is approaching the final point of action. Should we move? When did he? Is there any movement from the target? No, the target hasn't exited the vehicle. You can see inside from here. Stand by. Engage once you have visual on the target. Verbal reporting. We have visual on what we believe to be an armed Kerak patrol. Have you identified them? Unclear. Possible Paleroche guards. Tele-reporting. We have spotted Kerak warriors too. They are searching nearby buildings. Our position may be compromised. Should we make a move now? Negative. Stand by. We've been compromised. Engaging! They found us. We have been exposed. Repeat. We have been exposed. Permission for final action. Bloody hell. Affirmative. The north wind blows. The north wind blows over the mountain road. The dusk beast hides among the rocks he bites. Take your bow, swing it low by the little wood window. Hit! The forest is the domain of the hunter. The young huntress takes Senja to the forest, the mysterious assailants in hot pursuit. Their numbers are soon seen by crossbow bolts that seem to come out of nowhere. There's at least one more. Where are you? The huntress knows that her last shot has revealed her position, while the enemy has withdrawn into the shadows. She hides behind a large tree, settling in one little sound. Lock, load, loose. Missed! The young huntress is pushed to the ground as her shot misses. The attack picks up a ball from the ground and aims it at her throat, but he never gets the chance to bring his raised hand down. It is frozen. A blurred silhouette appears from above the assailant, bringing the weight of 1,000 mountains down upon his head. The Gambrecher! The ground trembles, and the snow on the tree branches is scattered. The Gambrecher? The Gambrecher catches the bolt flying towards her with one hand. Who are you? What do you want with the Saints? Stop, Joanna! The Gambrecher is a friend! The Gambrecher? Joanna hesitantly removes the bolt from her crossbow. She looks up and down the Gambrecher. I heard your name before. They say you're a strong warrior, but I've never seen a man beaten into permafrost like that. What are you doing here, the Gambrecher? Unseal the sun to me. I apologize, but now's not the time to stick to the rules. How did he know I was in danger? This is not the only attack in recent days. There were attempts on the lives of the members of Clan Silverash and Paleroche soon after you left the Vinebit Court. The three clans are on the brink of civil war. How could this be? These people. Only now do the trio have the time to take a long look at the silence. Latest silence, more precisely. They are wearing Paleroche armor and they are carrying standard issue Kerak weapons. Clan Paleroche. That's impossible! Clan Paleroche has always been loyal. They will never think of murdering the Saints. But there has to be an explanation for these people. They must be in disguise. Someone is trying to frame the Paleroches. Let me see. There must be some guy in disguise. Yes, look at this bolt. These people thought they could fool us wearing Paleroche clothes, but they got a very important thing wrong. Look, the balls they are carrying are 2-fletched, but the ones we use by Paleroche warriors are 3-fletched, which are more suitable for battle than hunting. Dad told me that our family was the best, most loyal warriors of the Paleroches before we split from the clan. Our shooting skills were passed down from our ancestors, who used them in war, mostly against the Silverashes. A logical explanation. How long's in history now? The wars between the three clans, Paleroche, Brontel, and Silverash, have long since come to an end, and your family become hunters under Kiragander's guidance. Yeah, I'm fumbling the voices. Yes, by Kiragander. It's not hard to guess who's impersonating Clan Paleroche. The Victorians. The Gambrecher pulls a bolt from one of the Victorian necks and examines it. Did you make this yourself? Yes, my dad taught me when I was little. The craftsmanship has been passed down my family from one generation to the next. From one generation to the next? The cut of the fletching, the shape of the point, even the etching on the shaft, these are all unique to Ursus. How is that possible? That say it's a mark of Jiragander's faithful. I've seen arrows like this in the arenas of Kashmir many times. Used by those who claim to master the most authentic Ursian martial arts. I can make no doubt, but the GCC also sponsors legitimate historians. I've read their papers and seen the artifacts they dug up. But we are all indigenous to Kirak. We used to be part of Clan Paleroche. What does Ursu have to do with Kirak? And yeah, some brought flags, some brought drums, and some brought swords. The three outsiders fought constantly, and their blood turned the rivers red, and she grieved. She went to the place of battle and said, "Sheathe your weapons and let your hearts be joined, and I will bestow upon you blessings of prosperity and protect you from evil." But the three were foolish and continued to fight even after they heard her words. So she cracked the heavens and split the clouds, and she brought forth a miracle, and the fighting was stopped. One of them wept, but how could we forget the hatred, the blood that was shed? And she wept as well, as her tears froze the enemy, becoming three eternally frozen peaks. What was that? A passage from the Kiragander that is often overlooked. Now I think I understand. Joanna, I believe that your family, indeed all Clan Paleroche, originally came from Ursus. You think so too? Yes, but it's not just you. The Silverashes and Brontels came from elsewhere as well. As the scriptures say, our three clans were outsiders who fought incessantly over resources until Kiragander intervened. The three frozen peaks seem to refer literally to the three mountains surrounding Kirak, but it in fact refers to the domain of the three clans which she had demarcated. She will come again if the swords are not laid down. Several years ago, she manifested through me, averting what would have been the first civil war between the three clans in centuries. The hearts of the three clans must be joined in order to receive her protection. The first virtue that Kiragander taught us was forgiveness. We got them, master! The tall guards bring over several prisoners, bound with ropes. These guys were fighting in some abandoned houses, clearly up to no good. They had binoculars and communication equipment on them. Victorians by the looks of it. Just as I thought. Ratatos is plotting with the Victorians to kill me. We'll take this man to her. No, we'll do it in front of the Bainbet court with all three clans present, and we'll see what she has to say for herself. Who's there? We got the remaining Victoria's spies, Siractos. We are glad to see that you are unharmed. What? What do you mean? Matters Ratatos' orders were to protect you, Siractos. We had been following you, and stopped these men when they are attempted to make a move against you. The warriors put their bound prisoners down. What in the name of Kiragander? Of course, Ratatos is not a fool. Where is Ratatos? We do not know. She said she would try to draw out the spies that Victoria has deployed around here. When they rebel themselves, we can... The old Brontel manor explodes, its walls torn apart like cardboard. Glass and wood fragments fly in all directions as the flame consumes the traces of once sumptuous history. The boiling smoke distorts the night air. The Polyroche warriors stand transfixed, eyes wide. Behind the brown car, some warriors caught by the blast now staggeringly try to help each other out. The echoes of the explosion gradually disperse, leaving the crackle of wood and distant sirens ever clearing in the night. A charred jacket drifts down in front of Axos. This is... Ratatos? What the hell have you done?
よくできましたドクターよしよししてあげたくなるわね
Yes, Yoshi, please. Snow removal system. For a short time after deployment, greatly increases the avalanche warning index of its avalanche area. While deployed, prevents avalanche in its avalanche area and then retreats from the field after a period of time. Oh. Okay, so it's a system to control the avalanches in the gameplay. Nice. That's interesting. As the other weeps, it is time for you to depart. The snow never waits, nor is it ever in a hurry. A pilgrimage, a needle. A layer of snow has formed on the withered branch. The wreathed cloud beast claims to its teeth, squinting in an impression of scouting. The saint asides, turning around to look behind her. The huntress following her poses, her face slightly red from the wind. Joanna, you don't need to follow me. I'm very grateful for all that you have done. As I told you, though, the pilgrimage must be completed alone. Strictly speaking, I shouldn't even be talking to you. I know. I'm not following you. I'm not your guard or your servant. I just happen to be traveling in the same direction. Don't worry, I won't talk to you. If anyone sees us, I'll pretend I don't know you. And I'll let danger strike you again. I'll just follow behind. Do you know where I'm going? Wherever you're going, I'm going. That's all I need to know. But I'm looking for Kiragander. What? Looking for her? Did she disappear? I don't know. But disaster will strike Kirak again if she doesn't return. People will lose their lives, and even more will lose their faith. I must return to the Vinebit Court and consult the tombs. The others must not know, for now. Then I'll follow you. Don't worry, if anyone's on your tail, I'll chase them away for you. I think the Rift Cloud Beast saw something. In the direction to the Rift Cloud Beast is looking, the trail to the Vinebit Court is filled with people dressed in solemn colors. Looks like someone very important just passed away. Who could it be? Enya shakes her head. She cannot help but feel a shiver down her spine. Thick through to her clothes are you alright, Enya? We'll go slowly around the crowd. Dark clouds hung low, almost touching the temple's eaves. It is a cold day even by Kirak standards, and the north wind seems to penetrate the eyes and spines of the mourners. Family members and clerics gather in the courtyard with heads bowed. The people of the Brontel domain have gathered outside to honor and grave their matriarch, who protected Kirak with her life. Snow falls upon the black umbrellas. One of the Brontel nobles gives the one in his hand a little shake, as the snow pours down. So, the matriarch's body? They never found it. The fire was too big. They turned over every inch of whatever was left, but found nothing. I heard they had to put her usual attire in the coffin, along with some ashes gathered from the scene. Nothing more. Oh, sad. To think that one as bright as the matriarch would. Madame Sirius, I apologize. I spoke out of turn. Sirius does not answer. She walks to the center of the courtyard, waiting for her sister, who had been by her side for as long as she could remember. Chimes tremble to the melody of the flutes. The clerics put their hands together and chant Kiragander's hymn, and the people place their hands upon their hearts in prayer to the song. Kiragander, have mercy, take her with you. 6 members of Clone Brontel's main branch carry a heavy non-wood coffin up the muddy road, Yucatan at the head of the procession. They carefully lay the coffin down on a table in front of the new brown-tailed matriarch. Yogatan walks to his wife, the grief on his face contrasting with Yuda's calm expression. Yogatan, Rus, I thank you. The hymn draws to a close. All is quiet and all eyes fall on Sirius. For the first time, she understands the mask that Ratatos was forced to wear, the weight of responsibility which crushes those unworthy of it. Thank you for being here to honor the memory of Ratatos Browntail. She was my sister, a staunch guardian of Clan Browntail and faithful child of Kiragander. Her wisdom gave her courage. She told me that she would protect me and everything here, and she always believed in a better tomorrow for Kirag, even in the most troubled times. All her life, she carried out the task that our grandfather entrusted to her, giving everything to Clan Browntail even in her final moments. I have lost someone very dear to me. It is only today that I realize the weight of the burden that she carried, but I will never have the chance to tell her. I know you will remember her face, her voice, her sacrifice, and her deep love for Kirag, for Clan Browntail, and for her family. And you will remember, as I do, who took her from us, leaving behind wounds that can never fully heal. A life so short and bright as dawn shall walk with her in eternity. By Kiragander. By Kiragander, answers the crowd, following Sirius' lead as they kneel and pay respect to the departed. Even in times like this, when all is swept upon in calamity, Kiragander will continue to bring peace and tranquility to the people of Kirag. Two figures emerge from the crowd as those in attendance stand back up. It is Arthos and Matterhorn approaching the coffin with white flowers in hand. My condolences, Sirius. Ratatos died because of me. I'll never forget it. Thank you, Arthos. This is a painful lesson to both our clans, to recognize who our true enemies are. Matters Sirius. Sirius expresses his regret for not being able to attend the funeral, and sends his apologies and condolences. He will pay a visit to Browntail Manor personally when the time is right. Please take care, Matters Sirius. He's so busy he can't even come to the funeral. Thank you. I understand. Clan Browntail recognized the work that Sirius has done for Kirag. Let us continue the ceremony. I believe we have matters to discuss. The crowd departs. The empty coffin is buried on Browntail land, next to the grandfather who loved her so dearly. With lips pressed together, Sirius looks to the two men before her. Both look silently and slightly angry. I'm simply reiterating the decision of the last Tri-Clan Council, Sir Arctos. All external affairs shall be handled by Sir Siodes and Clan Silverash, including matters associated with Victoria. Is this why you had the nerve to demand the Victoria spies? The murder of Browntail Matriarch is no small affair. I won't allow the Silverashes to interrogate them on your own. Master Matterhorn, it was the matriarch of Clan Browntail who was assassinated. I believe Clan Browntail should have full authority on this matter. Is Siodes not pleased with this arrangement? Of course not. However, it is a matter of principle to defer to the tradition of the Tri-Clan Council. There is formal and rational justification for allowing Clan Silverash to handle the spies. We have deferred to Silverash enough already, Matterhorn. You people have given us nothing but excuses when it comes to negotiating with the Victorians, and now these people have conducted terror attacks in broad daylight. How about we invite Siodes to explain his attitude towards the Victorians and what he's planning to Sirius face, and then we can talk about the spies. Kindly refrain from baseless speculation, said Arctos. I have already shown considerable restraint. You and Matters Ratatos were not the only ones to be attacked. Lady Ancia also narrowly escaped with her life. I would like nothing more than to get my hands on the assassins personally. Well, if that's true, then this will be easy enough. We'll put the Victorians on trial in front of Kirag, and then we'll let Clan Browntail have their way with them. Let Altera know that Kirag shows no mercy to our enemies. Too reckless! We already interrogated them. They were awfully tight-lipped. I doubt a public trial will achieve anything. Instead, I'm worried that they may see that as an opportunity to get a rise out of the people. It's not a risk we can take with all the unrest in Kera right now. If they have the guts to do so, just cut their tongues out. We should have dragged them out and spilled their blood for Ratatos at the funeral. Arthos. No one wants vengeance for my sister more than I do. But we can get carried away while there is still the hope of actually coaxing some information from them. Mother Shurs is right. This is a matter for... Please excuse the interruption. A cleric from the Divine Bed Court has something to discuss. The last envoy from the Divine Bed Court almost got Arthos and Encia killed. How do I know you are who you say you are? There is no need to be concerned. Sir Arthos knows me. He's right. This is Father Frey from Binebit Court. Alright then. What is it that you want? What is it you want to say, Father? I am here for the Victorian spies. The position of the Binebit Court is that this is an extremely delicate issue. There will be considerable criticism and unrest, no matter which of the three clans takes charge. Therefore, the spies should be placed in the custody of the court. We shall arrange interrogations, of which you will be informed and in which you'll have the opportunity to participate. I object. Why delay things when we are going to kill them anyway? The Binebit Court can do this. The three-clan council has already decided that the clan Silverash will handle Victorian affairs. Need I remind you that the three-clan council also agreed to return temporal power to the court? The Saintess is on her pilgrimage right now. The Binebit Court cannot decide on her behalf. It is interesting that you will mention the Saintess now, when Silenciosa has always been at odds with us. Kirk knows that the Saintess and the Binebit Court has always been of one mind. The scriptures speak testament to this. The Binebit Court has often acted on behalf of the Saintess in her absence. Tell Silenciosa he should not presume to take all the power for himself. Father! Calm down, Motherhand. Clan Brontel accedes to the request. You can send your people tomorrow, Father, and we will hand the spies over to the Binebit Court. Serious? I know your concerns, but it's more important than ever to put aside the conflicts between the three clans. It would be great to have the Binebit Court mediate. Thank you for your wisdom, Matriarch. The Binebit Court prays for Clan Brontel. By Kiragander. Sirius boasted Binebit Court envoy. The last time that the Binebit Court tried to do anything, it was again political assassination. It is past noon and the funeral procession begins to disperse. A man sitting in a car parked a little bit away witnesses the scene, then draws the curtain over the window. Looks like someone is getting impatient. There has been a lot of movement in the Binebit Court ever since the Saint's departure. I was surprised that Ratatas was willing to go this far, using herself as bait to draw out the Victorian spies. An impressive performance that brought the actions of Victorian to the daylight. And if the Victorians are trying to instigate a war between her and the other clans, it is also the most effective way to cleanse any suspicion from Clan Browntail. But it's not enough. We must make good use of the value time that Ratatas bought us. Why didn't you show up at the funeral? I wanted to avoid direct conflict with the other clan leaders, especially in public. And how's Anya? Her injuries were minor. All the Victorian assassins are dead. Anya said she has a plan to carry out in secret. She told me to come back once we cleaned up. All the people know is that the saint is currently on her pilgrimage. All the Victorians know is that her assassination attempt failed. You have wiped out all the traces from the mountains. And it is certainly true that the presence of the legendary Black Knight would not be conducive to secrecy. That's what I thought as well. Not a bad plan. I also need people I can trust by my side for what is to come. Our real troubles have only just begun. She just takes out an envelope and hands it to the game breacher. Inside is a thick stack of agreements and a letter written in Victorian. Read it. A letter? From whom? You could call it a letter. Or a declaration of war. To the chairman of Carland Trade, the son of my kinswoman Elizabeth. Dear NCO de Silverash, I hope this letter finds you well. It has been more than a decade since we met at that banquet. Perhaps you recall our conversations, as I did when you heard about recent events in Victoria. You foretold the conflict that I was personally involved in, and you have earned the right to sit at the table with Victoria as equals. But do not forget that every step you have taken is on a path that Victoria wants to see taken, one which she has paid for you. Victoria's position remains the same after the catastrophe. We support Kerak's development and respect Kerak's fate. And I believe that Clan Silverash and Kerak have never needed more help than now. I will offer that help. Based on the current partnership with Garland Trade, I will accept the following proposal. A special office jointly created, funded and managed by both sides, establishing a foundation with its location in the city center. Victoria will double down on existing investment in the form of equipment and interest-free loans, and share more industrial technology to support the future development of Kerak. All Kerak needs to do is open its doors to Victorian mining efforts, including but not limited to uranium, repaying the loans in kind. Garland Trade will not need to provide any cash. After all, there are many places where it can be put to good use, considering present circumstances in Kerak. I believe this to be a fair sign of good faith. The associated contracts have already been drafted and closed, ready for your review and signature. I will be happy to meet you should you wish to discuss the details. I look forward to the links that the caster bloodline can build between us. And I am curious as to whether Kerak has become what you wanted us to be. A declaration of war indeed. And this should be the one that unlocks as Jean Alter. Even as those who could be trusted are separated, she sets out on her journey with her brave heart as companion. What's this? 3 lanes! Avalanche here. Okay. Rhine Lab Observation Station, Kerak, December 7th, 11:01, 33 hours before the Kerak catastrophe. Instruments, check. Terminal battery, check. Pen, ink and paper, check. Coffee, check. It's all nighter time. Ah! A rustling sounds coming from the corner gives Elena fright. Only then does she realize that she's not the only person in the observation room. A human figure crawls out of the pile of waste paper by the instruments. Oh, it's you, Elena. I thought some grand scientist was pulling an all-nighter in an effort to win the Max Prize. Caroline? You remember me? Of course I remember, the rising star of the energy section. The youngest researcher ever to join our ranks. I'm flattered. I thought you had already left. The schedule said I was supposed to be the one on observation duty today. Hey, let the schedule ever mean anything. I would have been sleeping here for 2 straight weeks if I did. No wonder I hardly seen you ever since I came to the station. Must be tough. How does it feel to be back? You mean, coming back to Rhine Lab? You were the first person I thought of when they started recruiting for the observation station project, but I thought you would turn it down. Honestly, it wasn't an easy decision. At the end of the day, the company gave me a valuable opportunity. Besides, the achievements of Rhine Lab itself has never been in question. I still think my time at Rhine Lab was the closest I have ever been to achieving my dreams. I have to admit, even Ferdinand was a great researcher, if nothing else. Indeed, he has a mind for physics, so let him do what he does best. You know, he's stopped messing with other researchers since he got out of prison, and has been spending all his time on research. I think there's going to be a new director of energy before long. Maybe she's standing in front of me now. No, you gotta be kidding me. I just wanted to get a closer look. Elena looks up and sees the sky obscured by snow through the observation clear dome. She hates this feeling, just like she hates her family's backward traditions and beliefs, all the things in her way that have nothing to do with science itself. She believes that science should be pure, ever advancing, solving questions about Terra one at a time. This observation station is an invaluable opportunity. I only want to focus on my research, maybe push a little further than the boundaries of existing knowledge, if I can. Boundaries, huh? This is the closest place there is. Say, have you heard the legend of Kiran? Legend? What legend? This land has not suffered a catastrophe for 1,000 years, thanks to the protection of their god. Well, every country wants to attribute the universal phenomena to the gods. Kirak just held onto this tradition longer because of its isolation. Yet it is indeed true that Kirak had not suffered a catastrophe for 1,000 years. It's certainly unusual, but there must be a reason. Maybe the high elevation makes it difficult for originium particles to converge, or a Feramut? Eh? Come on, I'm being serious. I know there are legends about the Feramuts, ancient beings the size of mountains that turn into mountain and rivers after death. First off, there are no confirmed accounts of proving the existence of Feramuts. Besides, if this being did exist, where did they find the energy to sustain their biological activities? We bring this up anyway. Just something that occurred to me while we were chatting. Well, that's enough gabbing. You can rest, I'll take over the observations for the night. Really? But you have done a bunch of night shifts in a row. It's not like my circadian rhythm can get any more messed up. And chatting with you woke me up. If I recall correctly, there are still some bugs to iron out the power supply to the high energy particle beam. Wow, you know about that? At some rest and put that brain of yours to better use. Well, I guess I'll take you up on the offer. Thank you so much. I'll buy you some fins and chips from the Victoria restaurant that just opened at the foot of the mountain when you have time. Please don't. No Victorian wants to enjoy authentic Victorian cuisine in a foreign land. No Victorian wants to enjoy Victorian cuisine. Kirak cheers from you then? That sounds great. Caroline. It is another deep and quiet night in Kirak. The ancient land slumbers and lamps give way to stars. The sleeping snowy mountain may seem wondrous to the initiated, though most who live on this land have gotten used to this sight. Few look up at the sky on a night like this. What's that? Both her eyes and the instruments captured the strange light that cut across the night sky, like a sign from the heavens. It appears that Caroline was an accomplished, intelligent young researcher with a bright future. This place is very important to both Larhain Lab and Columbia. The recruiting process was extremely selective. We have yet to find any irregularities in her record and communication logs. She was originally from Victoria. I'm unable to provide any private information. It would be a violation of Rhine Lab's privacy policy and basic human rights. We can only provide information about her time at Rhine Lab unless your government officially presses charges of espionage. Of course, I was just asking. Her application material was very comprehensive, with every shift and fieldwork experience documented meticulously. Here, it seems she even requested a field survey task force herself, collecting information about Kierak's geography concurrently with her scientific research. She has been a diligent researcher, highly rated at Rhine Lab, and a model student when she was at school. Such scientists are not usually involved in the kind of trouble that we currently face. Yet, at this point, we have no information or clue as to whereabouts of Caroline. Believe it or not, we're even more eager to find Caroline than you are. There are many things at stake: Rhine's lab reputation, the security of the research data, potential breach of our management system, the mutual trust and partnership between us and Kierak's development. Are you speaking as a member of the Scientific Consensus Committee? Please don't misunderstand. Though it might sound a little condescending, I have the highest respect for what Garland Trade is doing. After all, the courage to reach beyond one's comfort zone is the most important quality in a scientist. Not just a scientist. There is a saying, Kira, blackbird and beast are bird and beast. What? They jump their fences and run into the snowfields. What? What? Nazis reciting racism. Please. Herders who go into the fields following their tracks never return. They die? That's what go into the snowfields and never return usually means in Kierak. One by one, pages are reviewed and placed on the table. Caroline's notes and actions turned into a tiny pile of papers. But where did the blackbird and beast go? It's the same question in the end. Perhaps they led the herders onto the mountains, getting lost in the forest and freezing to death at night. Another page is read and placed on the table. Or perhaps Gnosis puts the last page down. White upon white, like snowflakes falling on frozen cliffs. They simply found a new source of water, a new heaven. Can you at least tell me where exactly she carried out her field work? I can't. The observation data are badly corrupted. I can't recover the original data from the port. That hit me. Stacks of documents and mugs with dried coffee stains sit quietly on the table. An error tone signifies failure on the data restoration, causing their hearts to sink once more. There are ID records of all entries and exits, no message left behind the doors of labs. The security camera malfunctioned while the sides of the lab didn't capture anything. It seems like too much of a coincidence. Could Caroline really have? No, everyone else might assume she's a spy, but I can't let bias cloud my judgment. I already requested access permission from Director Mulesize to get to the bottom of things. Bomu! Knock knock. Who's been up all night? The Director Mulesize. Surprised to see me? I hear you haven't been back to the dorms for 2 straight nights. Are you still searching for the data that disappeared? Yeah. There's little doubt that our observational logs will alter, although we're not sure who did it or why. There is a reason to believe that the overwriting data hold a crucial clue. But never mind. I'm really a little snacky. Can't work on an empty stomach after all. Thank you. What is this? You never had it? Create cheese pastries with sugar frosting and berry jam. It was all the rage at the station a while back. I heard people talking about it and had planned to try them out the next time I went down the mountain for fondue, but I have been too busy investigating special energy sources unique to Yerak. Elena picks up a pastry. It's dried up on the outside, but the cheese and jam inside remain moist after being heated. The sound of running water ceases, and Mulesize sits down by her side with 2 clean mugs in hand. Mind if I sip a cup of joe with you? Cup of joe. Only this fluttering creature of whimsicaliness can say something like this. A cup of joe. Not at all. Fresh coffee fills the mugs, drenching the air in its aroma. The sound of machines operating is clearly audible at this late hour. A massive window on the wall displays stars in Kirak's night, deep and boundless as always. The atmosphere in the room relaxes. Elena lifts her mug after a moment of hesitation. Midnight coffee in the lab brings back memories. You used to stay up late too? Who does any line of work? Even when I was a student, I feel like I had more coffee than blood in veins for finance. Looks like everyone's been there before. Working at night is more efficient after all. Yes, night is quiet. Makes it easier to focus. I used to write one paper while dictating the summary of another using an audio recorder when I was really busy. That way I get to make progress on both at the same time. Crazy when I think back to it. Oh yeah, audio recorder. Eh? Audio? Audio? Where are you going? Surveillance at the recordings. Oh. Surveillance camera, credentials, the time is 3:19 a.m. There. Didn't you say the cameras didn't capture what was happening at the lab table? Yes, but it might have captured sound from the equipment. Listen to this. A lot of instruments operating. The sticking sound should be the audio sensor. The frequency that it plays back is directly connected to graphing. You can use this frequency to recreate. Excuse me. Need a pen and paper? Here you go. Oh, thanks. Pen tip rubs against paper. The time they spend around the instruments have made researchers intimately familiar with data. She enters the numbers that she copied down in the computer then. There. This is the hidden data. Let me take a look. See. Looks like a small earthquake occurred on Mount Carmel the morning of the day before the catastrophe. No, not an earthquake. It was an impact of some kind. As if something fell from the sky into the mountains of Kirak. What? Shooting star? And then came Kirak's first catastrophe. Outside the wide window of the observation station, the mountains of Kirak seemed to reflect a translucent blue under the moon. Did Caroline go looking for this extraterrestrial object? But why would she do it all on her own? She's never abandoned her post like this. She must have found something. We might be able to find her if we figured out where that thing fell. Which we can calculate from the wave frequency of the sound of impact. Director Mir says we... Divine Beat Court is about to investigate on our behalf. Strictly speaking, we shouldn't get any more involved in any of this stuff. The most we can do is report it to component control. But Caroline might be in danger. You know, that's not your job. You're not exactly close to Caroline. Bluntly, whatever happens to her is none of your business. Mirza finished her cold coffee in silence. Running at the bitter taste, she takes a piece of pastry and puts it in her mouth, speaking as she chews. But sometimes I kinda think the most important quality in a scientist is courage. Maybe even recklessness. You're a sharp kiddo. Got a knack for finding rhythm in music. Nice for a good dancer. I wouldn't wanna tie you up. Gotta let you move around free. You mean? This conversation never happened. Nobody tried to talk you out of it. Nobody told you what you can or cannot do. As for this late night snack, you took it from the shared fridge yourself, didn't you? Momo. Aguante Momo.
装備の確認はバッチリ？じゃあいよいよ。
Looks like we have to deploy operators in the avalanche area. Don't worry, Doctor. All we need to do is defend the avalanche area and prevent enemies from entering.
邪魔ですわ。
What?
Initiating data collection.
Okay. Ah. Cave Snow Sprite.
戦況は明白だ。
What is your marking significant trends?
私、目を大きく開けた。
氷雪の溶けるが
What are they doing?
経験に祈りなさい。
アイドルのイメージ。今そんなの。
氷雪の溶けるが
Swaggy cost only 9. Nice.
Do you have a remaining outline?
なんで己が道の正しきを疑わずして深みに陥り
氷雪は伝備知らぬものなり。
What's with the bus? Why are they lying down? Huh?
弾入ってる。よし。どうしたの？
いいなから戦い方の復習をしないで。
なんで己が道の正しきを疑わずして深みに陥りけ
Kiragandra of High.
どんな状況でも私には見えるから
図らずなんで己が道の正し
Performing data derivation.
あら、見えていないとでも思って
Nice. Oh, oh. Is that a problem?
時間は待ってくれませんよ。
図らずなんで己が道の正しきを疑わずして深みに陥りけ
They only attack when they are laying down or what?
決断を雪が全て葬るのを
What's
待て
wrong with those bats? There's another one.
What is your calculating standard deviation?
$32 out of 51. Ah. Kiragandra, forgive me.
決断なんで己が道の正しきを疑わずして
Ah!
深みに陥りけ
Yeah, I forgot.
神はいずこに氷結は伝令知らぬものなり。
なんで己
Performing data derivation.
図らずなんで己が道の正しきを疑わず
Okay.
どうせ死ぬなら道連れにしてやる。
決断をください
ドクター、人形はかりそめの命の宿す。
Go, Sagi-chan.
決断強説の解けるの
Okay.
What is your hypothesis?
on.
Marking significant trends.
Nice. Helena Urbica from the Urbica sisters. You have been tampering with the logs again. You just won't give up, will you? Unfortunately, the area that the search parties are looking in is at least 5 kilometers from here. Don't expect them to hear your distress signal. At least it's something. Malnutrition during the recovery process will increase the time needed for bones to mend by 20%, and the chance of complications by 35%. It's not my intention to hurt you or leave an outstanding warrior with a permanent disability. Cut the crap! I warned you, you'd better kill me now! I suppose that's an option. As I said, however, I have no intention of bringing her to Kirag. I certainly feel no need to take innocent Kirag lives. Besides, it was a miracle that we survived that avalanche at all. It was, in your people's words, Kiragandra's protection, right? Shouldn't that be a sign of faithful follower of Kiragandra to value her own life? No intention of bringing her to Kirag. You have been spying for the Victorians and stealing Kirag's military secrets. Such an unfair accusation. Do you really think a few battleships constitute Kirag's most important secret? You speak of your God's blessings all the time, but have you really thought about what your God is? What are you talking about? Kiragandra is not to be questioned or doubted. That didn't resonate. Well, I guess the only reason I'm talking to you about this is because there's nothing to do here to pass the time. Ah well, doesn't matter anyway. If you want to pass the time, I got something to ask you. How did a Victorian spy work for Rhineland for so long? Are you so sure that I am a Victorian spy when I've been working at Rhineland for so long? Well, if you really want to hear it, I could tell you a little story. There was once a girl in Victoria who was incredibly fascinated to know how everything worked, and she wanted to spend her whole life studying. As 10 years later, she went to Columbia as visiting scholar from the Royal Victorian Academy of Science. It was not the research foundations of Victoria that found her, but an intelligence agency. From that day forth, the only thing she was allowed to be curious about was the secret documents of the Colombian government. But her curiosity was not so easily stated. As she dug through Colombia's secrets, she found an opportunity to satisfy the very depths of her curiosity. At the end of the day, though, there is little that separates Colombia and Victoria. People fight over the slightest morsel of profit. The order that took so much hard work to build is now teetering at the brink of ruinous war. Who has the time to gaze up at the heavens? Or even down at the ground we stand on, of which we know so little about? I find it all tedious bore. Okay, so let me get it right. As visiting a scholar from the Royal Victoria Academy of Science. So she, instead of joining the Royal Victoria Academy of Science by herself, she joined the intelligence agency of Victoria and was sent as a scientist to Columbia. Early morning, Hall of Writings, Vine Beat Court. Good thing the window isn't too high. The clerics have gone to their morning prayers. The observation station is a sensitive topic right now. I need to avoid them. Maps, geographical records, anything that can help. The morning sun shines through the window and falls gently on the aged books. Elena dusts off the books in front of her, but finds the writing of the clerics difficult to decipher. She begins to regret not bringing a dictionary of the Kieragi language. How do they categorize this stuff? This one is a collection of quotes. Kieragander showed herself to me and said, "Sing not my temple, but my heart." Ah! Helena lets go in panic, and the heavy book hits the floor. To the bookshelves, she sees a surprised face under a hood and a crossbow pointed at her face. I think she's surrendering. Enya, what do we do? Who's saying anything about surrendering? Wait a moment. Enya? Enya Silverash? Eh? You are saying this? Shh. Elena nods in realization. Keep quiet and we can talk, alright? Elena nods carefully. Put away your crossbow, Joanna. Let not this scare a friend here. But she sneaked into the Vine Pit Court. Doesn't seem like something a good person would do. Well, we sneak in too. You're tired. Are you from Rhine Lab? Yes, I'm Elena, a researcher at the energy section. I'm sorry, I was just looking for a map of Kierat, preferably recording the locations of mountains and originium veins. If I find that special vein, maybe I could... You could what? Helena glances at the young woman before her, who looks about the same age as her, while being the undisputed sovereign of this country. Helena is unsure if what she is about to say might offend her, when she sees the pure curiosity on her face. Maybe I can explain how this catastrophe happened. Oh. You mean that Kira has been safe from catastrophe for 1,000 years because of a hidden originium vein? Yes! Thank God for the OST. The science OST. The... what was it called? Welcome? Or something like that? Or Hall? The Rolled Silent science team. Yes, there is an undiscovered originium vein in the mountains surrounding Kierag, which created an energy field that prevented catastrophes from forming. Impossible! It's Kiragander that protects Kierag. Has anyone ever seen Kiragander with their own eyes? Many people have witnessed the miracles of Kiragander with their own eyes. I respect your culture and traditions, but that doesn't prove anything. Just because you see something that can't be explained right now doesn't prove the existence of some supernatural being behind it. And how do you prove the veins have anything to do with it? The interactions between originium is extremely complex, and what we know is only the tip of the iceberg. Rhine Lab has conducted a number of experiments in recent years. Under certain conditions, the originium can form energy fields that cause atmospheric originium particles to disperse rather than converge, preventing the formation of catastrophes. This is something that we have not yet been able to recreate under controlled conditions. But if an originium vein with the right condition exists, then preventing catastrophe might be a real possibility. I made detailed calculations. Excuse me, can I borrow this map? Elena takes out her notebook and shows it to the other two. She goes on a long explanation about the formulas as she draws on the page, not paying attention to whether her listeners are able to keep up. Finally, Elena confidently draws a circle on the location in the foothills of the map. Therefore, the Reunion Vein theory is the most likely explanation for Kirag's lack of catastrophes. I'm quite sure that my calculations are accurate, and if we find an Reunion Vein at this location, it will explain everything. Joanna is in a daze. She glances at the ninja, hoping the scientist will rebuke this blasphemy. But the scientist is quiet, biting her lower lip lightly. Enya? Say something! I don't know what the hell she's biting. How do you explain the recent catastrophe then? Based on the data, I suspect something from beyond the starpot fell on Mount Carlan the day before the catastrophe. Look, these are the data that the station observed the day before the catastrophe. These are infrasound waves created by the impact of the extraterrestrial object. So it's not Priestess' fault. Ha! Elena turns on her portable terminal, displaying a sharp break on the line graph. This object must be massive in size and scale. I think the catastrophe was caused by it falling into the central area of the vein, causing a shift in the energy field. There are reasons for all the things. It's not magic or the work of a god. Enya cannot comprehend what she is hearing. Her memory begins to blur and she feels a sort of link being torn apart. Kiara? A familiar voice belonging to a friend, a miracle, or a hallucination? She can't believe it. She was not. Fear and loneliness comes over her, and it's all she could do to keep her arms from trembling. Say something, Enya. I can't understand Elena's position. However, I recall a section of the Kiragander. Her heart is the heart of Carlan, deep within the mountains. From the beating of her heart grew the flesh and bones of Kirag. This is the description of the origins of Kirag as the scriptures record. We used to assume that the heart of Carlan was like Lake Silverash, which was why we built Kiragander's statue there. In my studies these past several days, however, I found that the ancient tombs considered the freezing of the heart of Carlan to be an unusual phenomenon. But Lake Silverash freezes every year. Sounds like a figure of speech. I interrupt the sentence while she's singing. Maybe the heart of Carlan actually refers to something else. The Great Elder guided me to the Ratshorn, but it is in fact the heart of Carlan that holds the answer. You mentioned the central area of this special vein? Yes, I built a model based on the shape of Kirag Mountains, and I calculated that extraterrestrial object likely fell on this location. Isn't this the Kirag Kashimir's mines? Mines? Yes, now it all makes sense. There's no time to waste, we need to go. One moment, foreigner, we didn't say anything about letting you go around Kirag on your own. Not to mention all the disrespect you should show to Kiragander. It's alright, Joanna. We don't force our fate onto others. Besides, we need to find the truth behind this catastrophe. We'll lead her travel with us. Elena? While Angie and Joanna were talking, Elena put the books back on the shelf and now sits on the windowsill, waving at the other two. Actually, there's usually no one at the main entrance to the Isle of Risings. Cold moonlight pours through the dark clouds upon the decorations in Ratatov's room. Sirius thought she would be afraid to see Ratatos sings, but she feels so tired that she doesn't even have the strength for sorrow. Just imagine just giving birth, and like not even a week after, no, not only giving birth to twins. That's on the border of body horror. And then 1 week after, your sister dies. Now you have to manage 1/3 of a country. It's a small country, but it's still a country. How the hell? Sirius is right now in her not even her own personal hell. It's Kira hell. Sirius thought she would be afraid to see Rathatos sing, but she feels so tired that she doesn't not even have the strength for sorrow. She knows full well that she simply imitated Rathatos in dealing with the other clans a few days ago. But the more she tries, the more Rathatos' shadow lingers. Sirius looks outside. It seems snow is once again falling on Browntail land. Look, Sirius, there is a snowball and it will go even further when you throw it. Try it. I don't need you to teach me. I don't want to become you. I hate you. I hate everything you made me do. The echoes of memory are like the deafening roar of a mountain collapsing. She feels a lump in her chest. The dust-covered contracts and letters in the box bear witness to the development of the clan Browntail over the years. Sirius examines the marks left behind by Rathatos on the family business documents and finds at the bottom of each page where the name of the Browntail matriarch should be Sirius. Remember, Sirius, I'm your older sister and I'll become the leader of Clan Browntail, so you need to listen to me. Prove that you can do better if you're not happy about that. When that time comes, I hope you'll carry the future of Clan Browntail on your shoulders. What's with Rathatos and exploding and mansions going on fire? Sirius anxiously flips through the pages, but each and every document has her name on it. Until she reaches the bottom of the pile, that little box from her memory, the secret that belongs to the two of them. This holds all the things I want to give you, but I don't want the adults to see. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. A secret between the two of us, you and me. This is a communicator. Sirius gazes at the device in her hand, the dim light illuminating her hesitation. The final audio log. I got Carlan's trade intel about a suspicious woman. I've been watching her all morning, and I think she's planning to make a run for it. The voice. It's Monch? Good. Keep a close eye on her. Don't let her get away or pass the documents to anyone else. Yes, ma'am. Carlan Trade says we need to be careful and not draw attention. Take her alive if possible. There are a lot of questions we need to ask her. I'll tell NCO to send help from Carlan Trade. Understood. I'll do my best. Be careful and don't leave it loose ends. Finally, there is an unanswered call from Carlan Trade. Call time yesterday? Carlan Trade? Ooh.
老作の後はよく眠るべし。これは巫女の示す意志です。
Ooh. That's why the ship Rathatos X Silverash is the one we need. It will reunite two clans, and we will also see Silverash getting what he deserves. Aha! Patience is a hunter's virtue. It will help you find a gap, an opportunity, and a beginning at the end, at the dawn of friendship. Emerald. What's this? Oh. Let's have a grab. She's a 5-star. She's so cute.
サルゴンの戦士たちはいつも戦いの中で成長しろって
I cannot read this.
私はこういう勉強法でも大丈夫
I don't know how to read this. Maria
早速始めよう
Hadia. Face of birth, Colombia. Why isn't she in Sargon? Sargon in Colombia, Hadia is a descendant of the Carcia, a legendary warrior tribe of the south. She joined Louis Salon in Sargon as part of her ambition to improve her combat techniques. She currently receives training and participates in field missions at the Sargonian branch office of Rhodes Island. Oh,
どこの戦場
she's
も
like
サルゴンの荒野と同じで見た目以上にずっと危険なんだよ。
what a Muslim American would be.
目標の大きさを考えれば私の
Nice, I guess.
サルゴンの戦士たちはいつも戦いの
Because
中で
this
成長し
defense
ろ
and attack consumes 10 DP to fuse sword and staff, gaining increases attack rate.
早速始めよう。
85% attack and attacking up to top targets simultaneously. The skill is active can spend 15 DP to activate equipment alteration, extending skill duration by 15 seconds. Oh. Okay. Let's see.
どこの戦場もサルゴンの荒野と同じで
Which
見た目以上
Kiragon
にず
level
っと危険なんだよ。
40?
みんなむやみに行動しないようにね。
武器がどんなに進化しようと、あら、私が率いなくてもいいの、ドクター。
Let's continue. Silverash, how much longer? Patience, please, Mr. Bellingham. You again. As you know, the Duke has been very busy lately, having to receive several guests each day. You should remember, sir, the last time I came here. So, I'd like to ask, how has she been lately? Fairly pleasant for the most part. After all, the negotiations with the Casimercians has been nearing completion over the past few days. As soon as he finishes speaking, a dejected gentleman strides past the Silverash. The Silverash recognizes Sam Derek, head of the press office. Perhaps due to the recent wave of bad publicity, he wipes the sweat off his brow with trembling hands. I suspect today is not one such day. Is that Bellingham outside? Let him in first. Don't keep him waiting. The butler nods, and the Silverash hesitates for a moment before stepping into the room. Seated in the middle is the Duke of Caster, with a young noble standing at her side. I have another question. What kind of person is this Casimerician representative you met? He's a merchant, Your Grace. Casimirus. Tell him that should he agree to my terms, I am willing to lift some of the embargoes on diesel equipment. For them, there are many ways to obtain cheap materials, and Cherag is hardly replaceable. I will let him know that only Victoria can satisfy his technological and equipment needs, especially when it comes to Reginium. No, you are a member of Housecaster. These minutiae are best left for servants to convey, whereas we should always leave ourselves room to maneuver. The Casimercians know little about the resources we command, so why not let them exercise their imagination? Do you understand? No worries, I guarantee that he will side with us. Forever honor your commitments. If you cannot, don't make them in the first place. That is true of the Casimerician representative, and even more so of me. You might live. Yes, my apologies, Your Grace. Once again, you have to see me disciplining these good-for-nothing wolves. Belly, thank Your Grace for the trust you have placed in me. Let's not waste time on small talk. Let's not waste time on the small talk. I trust you said the gentleman who left earlier, yes? If I'm not mistaken, that was a certain Derek, the man in charge of news and public opinion. He should have reported to me that the negative press, be it about Kierak or Victoria, was under control. He was instead quite profuse with his complaints, going on and on about how he couldn't do it, that it would take too long to communicate with the film crew, that he wanted to trouble me to watch the footage they sent back. If he feels like he hasn't been given enough time, he should have known that my patience has its limits too. So, do you have any good news for me, Belly? Yes, Your Grace. Our informant terrain observatory provided very accurate intel, indeed. There is something highly suspicious about the mining site in which Kerak is working with Kashmirs. Following the clues he provided, my men successfully infiltrated the site and obtained these data tables. Let's point out the highlights. Please look at this section, and the subsequent section on the next page. The former represents the mine's daily output, whereas the latter represents the purchase volume, or export volume. Finally, the last page is the mine's financial report. Pay particular attention to the net profitability figure. For example, in the last 2 months, the difference is massive. This mining site has been operating at a loss. At the greater the extraction, the greater the losses. Exactly. We even found this mine import record. Please take a look. A large mining site needs to separately import the very same materials. Therefore, I believe this confirms the earlier theory. This so-called Young Miner project is actually Arknights arsenal in disguise. And this is the trump card that has been flipped over, sitting right there in a mining site shared jointly with a foreign company. Which is why your agents, including myself, initially overlooked this area. It is hard to imagine that anyone could stomach such a risk. Placing a piece in what normally would be a blind spot is very much his style. However, you're still one move behind, Belly. As difficult as it is to admit, when Wellington made his move, it became imperative for us to strengthen ourselves. Given the circumstances, Kerak is a valuable asset. I will not accept a lose-lose scenario. We must ensure that Enciada's military preparation do not catch us flat-footed. Although by knowing what his trump card exactly is, can we properly plan against Kerak in advance? Your Grace, if you wish to confront the Duke of Wellington, bringing Kerak under the control of Hostcaster, as well as seizing their manpower and resources, is of utmost priority. I personally believe that we should conduct a comprehensive survey of this mining site. I believe the Kashmirians will accept your term, and it's only a matter of time until they withdraw from Kerak. As soon as we take control of the mining area, I will send an envoys there immediately. Why not act before the paperwork is officially signed? We cannot give Carl and Trade time to cover their tracks. I cannot speak. So, under the boyer's name, look for another excuse through the Vine Bit Court. Even if they suspect that something is amiss with the Kashmirians, a hasty retreat will inevitably leave traces behind. The Vine Bit Court is ultimately an expendable asset. Due to your previous botch job, there is no way Enciadas will not have his eye on them. Then we'll squeeze every last drop of value from the Vine Bit Court before Enciadas make his move. Is that truly the missing step, Belly? Be more economical and think it through some more. The current Great Elder has consistently turned down my goodwill, and given the inability to mobilize the full strength of Vine Bit Court, we must be more careful when assessing the feasibility of this plan. Yet, Your Grace, he did not stop us from infiltrating the lower and middle ranks either. Perhaps this is the Vine Bit Court persisting arrogance right for us to take advantage. Perhaps the allure of overthrowing Enciadas will prove to be a gift too irresistible for Kerak's religious figures. So, do you intend to? You are free to move the pawn and set the Vine Bit Court as you please, but you must find out exactly what's going on within the mining site. Let us wait to see how Enciadas reacts. He might just give us another reason to get involved in Kerak. Yes, Your Grace. Right, I'd like you to do me a favor. The deck left some odds and ends behind. Go ahead and take them with you. When it comes to our dealings with foreign nations, we always have some journalist friends who make too much noise. Oh, the poor NPC is going to meet the blade. Oh no, here's the poor NPC. Can you see the camera up right here? Thank you. Let's get started with you ready. Venerable Great Elder Atsu, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. I sincerely hope you're willing to answer a few of my questions as well as those of the countless others who want to know more about Kerak. First, I'd like to ask about something that many around Kerak have been curious about recently. The people of Kerak broadly believe that Kerak underprotects this land, In your opinion, how would you explain this catastrophe? Does it mean that Kira has lost his divine protection? That is correct. Kira Gander indeed watches over this land. However, she is not a tyrant who possesses harsh decrees, but rather a patient mentor and a guiding hand. Her protection of Kira is not as straightforward as many would imagine. Her knowledge of the true way of life runs deep, and so she taught the people of Kira how to live in this land, filled with calamity and devoid of thought. Thus, the people of Kira came to have a soul, and the many calamities no longer disturbed them. Even so, I am still very curious as to how a god who neither reveals his true form, nor has performed any miracles as proof of its divinity can earn a people's faith. This belief seems to lack any grounding in evidence. Guess from afar, I can see that you hide your arrogance behind polite words. You try to reduce Kira's belief into the most basic form of logic, which you then criticize in an attempt to extol your own correctness and wisdom. Please believe me, that was not my intent. It's fine, don't worry. And then, may I ask you a question first? In your opinion, what kind of principles do the victorians, who observe no religion, follow in their lives? It's a simple answer. Victoria has her own laws. Who drafted these laws, and who granted them the authority to do so? You're asking about the legitimacy of the Victorian regime. We need only look back at history to answer that question. The land was originally occupied by Dragos until about 300 years ago, where Aslans and Sargon launched a rebellion in Victoria, ultimately seizing control of the country. Then, I take it that in your view, might makes right. Aslans are strong and therefore righteous. Dragos are weak and therefore unjust. The so-called justice shifts just as easily as the balance of power in war. By the same logic, the devils of Castle should feel no shame or remorse about invading the lands of other nations, their only sin being that they fell one step short of ultimate victory. That is a patiently absurd conclusion. Of course, adopted any regime will hang its legitimacy upon violence, because they all know too well that violence will inevitably be undone by greater violence. Nothing can remain young and might forever. Neither people nor governments. Therefore, they must become compassionate in hope that the same compassion will be afforded to them when they are weak. So, let us return to that question. Why do the legal principles we take for granted, or rather, the virtues prevalent across the different civilizations shared in this land, exist in the first place? To where should we direct our questions? Do we possess the sublimity inherent to being human? Are our lives innately meaningful? Apologies, but I am not well versed in the subject of philosophical speculation. May I ask, what is the point of these questions that seem so far removed from our daily lives? You mentioned life. In fact, as long as you seriously reflect upon your own life, you will very easily find that there is nobody in this great land who is entirely devoid of faith. People always choose to place their faith in something, be it money, violence, knowledge, fame, philanthropy, or pleasure. If a person genuinely believes that nothing is inherently true, then he will quickly find himself back into a puppet with his string cut, unable to move at all. The followers of Kiragander seeks the eternal solace of the mind by questioning ourselves and seeking out the traces of her existence. An interesting thought indeed. This seems quite different from the common perceptions floating around Kira. Please tell me, what was your perception of Kiragander before you witnessed the human tragedy caused by catastrophe? The last pure land of Terra, a sanctuary protected by the gods, a land of simple and kind, but poor but happy people. You're quite well versed in the story's catchphrases. It was your people who discovered and abused the power of Originium, which ruined everything. You know that countless people drowned beneath the waves you started. And it is this guilt that led you people to weave your illusions into the fantasy of Kierak, a paradise where one can reap the benefits of Originium with none of the costs. You imagine purity because you know filth, innocence because you know deception, magnanimity because you know opportunism, and piety because you know nihilism. How, then, can you see the farmers who have left their homeland behind, the craftsmen whose unfinished goods pile up like a mountain, and the hunters who return home empty-handed? You may even deny the existence of these people so that you may feel at ease when you swallow the blood and sweat of us savages to fortify your souls. As an investigative journalist, it is my responsibility to spread the truth. And I am hardly the only Victorian who cares about the truth regarding Kierag. Young lady, you promised to spread the truth about Kierag across the lands. Yet your lenses are pointed at those who are more lost, more deserving of piety, of pity. Do you think we should call this truth, or simply a fable? I must admit, your questions have left me chagrined. With my colleagues and myself, it is hard to set down on morbid curiosity as onlookers. All you need to know is that Kierag's belongings are not placed in sitting behind the glass of a Victory shop. Kierag does not, and will not, need anyone's pity or charity. Kierag will always be the people of Kieragander, the home of the Kierag people. Alright, I think I'm convinced now. So, in your opinion, this catastrophe will not shake the people's faith in Kieragander? To be honest, Kierag's fate is undergoing a serious test. I cannot deny that this catastrophe has sown the seeds of darkness in the hearts of the people, causing them to gradually turn to violence and selfishness, abandoning many of their former virtues. But was all of this due to catastrophe? As it cannot yet be named without the proper soil. The current turmoil in Kierag only proves that people's belief had already changed, long before the catastrophe itself. And the cause of all this is... Enciores. Are you referring to Mr. Enciores Silverash, the chairman of Callan Trade? For thousands of years, Kierag has been spared from catastrophe by your adherence to the order laid down by your god. However, the Bindbit Court is not a rigidly conservative institution that outsiders see. Even in the era before power was restored to the three clans, records in the Bindbit Court Hall of Writings confirmed that the court was involved in, and sometimes even instrumental to, the vast majority of changes across Kierag's history. However, we simply remind ourselves constantly of the wisdom and virtues she taught to us, ensuring that each step we take does not become counterproductive. And this order formed through the Bindbit Court has proven its reliability and stability over the long years. Yet, when you don your skis and snowboards and zoom down our snow-capped peaks, how often do you turn back to look at those who lack the condition and ability to keep up? No matter how much you might want to turn back and wait, the falling snow will obstruct your view till the exhilaration carried upon the wind engulfs your very soul. We believe that Kierag's current reforms are too radical. Therefore, if anyone can be held responsible for the current state of Kierag, it can only be Enciores. So, as an elder of the Bindbit Court, are you planning to make any changes in response to this situation? No. I won't lightly say that I'll be making any changes myself. I simply believe that, for thousands of years, the enemy of Kieragander have all vanished into the snowdrifts of history. Something stuck to my finger. What the? The registration documents are here. Please make sure this envelope makes its way to Mr. Edelweiss of Callan Trade. Don't worry, we were established by Callan Trade and know Mr. Edelweiss very well. There won't be any mistakes. Glad to hear it. There is something in my finger! Lena turns her head somewhat nervously. After the catastrophe, the people of Kierag have largely preferred to remain at home, with one exception, the market. Hundreds of people crowded together in residential areas, temples, stores, and street stalls, their surrounded faces matching the gloomy weather. At the far end of the market, Giovanna is gesturing to her with her hands, her mouth open as if beckoning for her to come quickly. Be right there! Got to keep a low profile. Elena lowers her head and turns her face away, hurrying away against the flow of pedestrians. Countless Kierag people brush past her, while another Rhine Lab employee squeezes into the crowd that follows the current. Why should we choose the most crowded place? People are forced to gather here in order to barter for necessities or to receive relief supplies. That they suppress their fear is a fact worn on their sleeves, many of them showing up in not but simple local attire. Caroline instinctively pulls her coat in tighter, walking past the man and woman until she stops at the entrance to a quiet little temple. She leans against the door frame, its paint worn and peeling, and hesitantly turns her head to look around, searching for someone else who also has an appointment. Damn it, the bed already rang. All I wanted was to find a place to continue my research. Why I am still doing this kind of work? She points the wall next to her angrily until suddenly a hoarse question reaches her ears. Oh, Lost Lady, why do you treat the property of Kiragander in such a manner? I'm sorry, how should I make amends? There's no need for that. Set everything down and come with me. Should it be agreeable to you, please rest in the courtyard. I shall explain the profundity of the scriptures to you, so as to soothe your restless heart. The old man unlocks the temple gate, and Caroline pauses apprehensively to look around before stepping inside. The devotee then follows her in and shuts the gate again. What's going on? You are the one they mentioned, the one who can bring me out. Choosing to meet up here is incredibly risky, is it not? People are undoubtedly going to be anxious in the aftermath of a catastrophe. Wandering around in sparsely populated open areas is only going to invite more suspicion. Let's get down to business. We don't have time to waste. Have you acquired all the intel? I have, but it's not meant for you. The Duke of Casterman promised that once they took over the mine, I will be able to leave Kira via the internal railway. I don't know what I told you, but now is the time for you to do your part. The mine is currently in the handover period. Once the Victorians have finished their inspection, I will take you there to meet them. As for your patience, ma'am, it is a precious virtue indeed. I hope this is the last time. This is the last time. Did you hear that? Hear what? Sounds like a bit like thunder. How strange. Seemed to come from the mountains. And also... Achha! What's this? The tip of my nose feels all chilly. That's weird. Why is it snowing again? Being in the middle of the snowy season. What's so strange about that? No, that can't be it. Even at this time of year, there are a lot of signs before it starts snowing. The girl lifts her head, her expression suddenly turning serious. It's snowing, but it doesn't smell like snow. It's very strange. An old man once said that the snow only loses its scent when something truly terrible is about to happen. Is Kiragander warning us again? Divine will is less important than how heavy the snowball is going to be and how it will threaten our safety. As for the scent of snow you mentioned, the air temperature and humidity change before it snows, which may give off the illusion of a peculiar scent. But to treat this as some way of gauging the weather, or even as divination of some sort is, well... frankly, I don't think it makes any sense. No. The scent of snow is the scent of snow, not some other smell. Kiragander has given hunters a keen sense of smell and eyes that can see in the dark. On the snowfields, we know much more than you do. Okay then, I don't mean to question your personal experience, but I still have to act according to my own experience. As Elena speaks, she sets up the observation equipment and begins to carefully record the data. The girl pauses discontentedly, looking at the device with a distinctively old-fashioned Kira look. That lump of metal of yours has been beeping this entire time, and it's heavy too. We have gotten here way sooner without having to look it around. But it is how we can make sure that every step we take is safe and secure. After a catastrophe, we must be extremely cautious inside Originium zones. A sudden gust of wind rises, causing Elena to stumble, but Joanna catches her from behind just in the nick of time. Thanks. The chilly snowflake lays it. Wind sweeps over them, and all other noises ceases, save for the whistling wind and its sharp, biting cold. How did the temperature drop so sharply all of a sudden? Is this... I know of a deserted village up ahead. Let's head over there and find a house to shelter in. Anya, who has been lagging behind the group because she was flipping through her notebook, steps in between the two. She stretches her palms out, her fingertips only slightly reddened from the cold. Come, take my hand. The fresh snow is too slippery, and the terrain here is steep as well. It will be terrible if someone slipped and fell here. You're both hesitating? Do you not want to hold my hands? Enya, I mean, Your Holiness, No, thank you. One hand extends forward. I just doing this for Her Holiness. Joanna turns her head away, but nevertheless places her hand within Enya's. Thankfully, the temple is in a much better state than the other buildings because there still are people who come by occasionally to do repairs. The trees shake off the thick snow from their cloaks. They arrive at the village only briefly before the snow starts to come down heavily, fluttering down like feathers. You two, go ahead and rest. I'll see if the fireplace here can still be lit. You can usually find a small woodshed behind the village temple. I'll go take a look. Need my help? Hey, good. Didn't you say you were going to do the weather forecast? Let's go do your thing. I already set it up. The measuring device will automatically gather data from our surrounding area, so it can help you carry. I told you I'm good. Don't follow me. Before Elena can even stand up, Joanna already manages to feel out the small door behind the temple statue would practice at this. The layout of any Kirak monastery is more or less the same. The girl rushes out back and the door slams loudly behind her. Did I do something to upset her? No, just a little, but not that much. Don't worry about it. Joanna is a kind girl. Even when she is grumpy, she still wants you to be warm. Just like not long ago, when she protected me from assassins even though she despises me. However, for many of Kirak's villagers, your thoughts and words can hurt them, even if they are without malice. I'm sorry, I was too rash. That's not your fault, nor is the fault of Kirak's people. If anything is at fault, perhaps it is simply your differences. Any sort of communication between people is about these differences. Even partners who work together in the lab, sharing the same ideas and goals, can still have disagreements. Which is why communication and understanding between people is so precious. Look at her cute freaking face. Screenshot. Enya folds her cloak and puts it aside, pointing to a snowflake on it that has yet not melted. Oh, look at that! A snowflake? The people of Kirak sometimes use snowflakes that have not melted upon stepping indoors as a form of divination. These unbroken, branch-like snowflakes are a sign that our journey will be smooth. According to the folklore, the snow is a messenger protected by Kiragander, carrying important truths and omens. It can predict the harvest, the hunt, the craftsman's hammer's fall, and even quarrels between friends and lovers. Some may say that this iconic tree-like hexagonal flake with well-defined branches is a sign of good fortune, but others just as easily see within it a broken connection, an omen of disaster. And so, regardless of what happens at the end, the fortune teller always has something to say. Worst case scenario, they always say, the diviners you met was just bad, the moment of the start had already revealed the truth long ago, and used that to defend their authority. Just seem quite knowledgeable about divination, Helena. You could say that I had some run-ins with them, due to family circumstances. Oh, I like it, like Helena in... what was it? Dorothy's Vision? But now here I am. I kinda like her. Because I once was this kind of skeptic that in a broken down village up in the mountains. the skeptical that knew that everything that people kind of attributed to witchcraft and God's work, I kind of make it through pure logic. But well, it's exactly the same point that Helena is talking. That Helena is fighting through right now. It's not only the good intentions that she's meaning. It's the people of Kira know better. So you can't show them that reality of the world can be calculated without teaching them first, though, that the world is more than what they pray for. But say they have some run-ins with them due to family circumstances. In any case, most divination has nothing to do with revealing the truth. It's just a form of self-delusion and sophistry. A place where no people wish to go has no roads leading to it. If a problem does not exist, there will be no solution created to resolve it. Fate is a fickle thing, just as your science should acknowledge that there are many things in this land that cannot be controlled or predicted. On this great land, we are but tiny people trying to grasp a glimmer of the prophetic and the true. Is this so different from the origins of scientific discovery? Knowledge is what makes people feel safe and allows them to face an unreasonably uncertain future. In a sense, coincidence, probability, and fate are all the same concept. Fate falls on many just as this snowflake has fallen on my cloak. I get it. Even placebos can be efficacious type of medicine. But I have also seen many things in Mother Kirag. In the past, I always tried to see such strong beliefs as kind of cultural phenomenon, a ritual, a projection, a form of comfort seeking. But what exactly are they to you people? She asked the question in a soft, subdued voice. The wind outside the window has already subsided significantly. Kirag's saintess looks up at statue of Kiragander of the altar. Beneath a slab of stone engraved with messy markings, several brightly colored figurines sit side by side. They were exhibition goods produced around the time of the Lake Silverash ceremony. By the look of things, someone brought them to this village temple as an offering to a reclusive Kiragander. The clerics of the Vine Beat Court often describe fate as walking into the darkness without a lamp, or leaping fearlessly into a silent ravine. Everyone always seems to yearn for her. Ascetics, devout believers, faithful followers of the commandments. Countless people endure innumerable hardships just to reach her side. But for me, she tries hard to recall, but the memories in her mind are no but struggling fragments, jumping around like frames from a movie shrouded in the dark haze. A strong emotion surges once more within Anya's heart. Trouble! Joanna suddenly rushes in with a gasp, firewood in her arms, her cheek flushes from running. I just saw, coming down the mountain, those victorians cars heading for the mine. Victorians? That mine's a joint operation with the Casimirs. What are they trying to do here? Have they already picked up our trail? Don't panic just yet. Regardless of what business they have with the mine, we have to hurry. Let's pack up our things and set out immediately. We need to be even more careful and discreet on the road ahead. Just a second, please. I need to pack up my instrument first and it... Wait, how could this? What are you darling around for? Hurry up and pack it up. Here, I'll help you. What is this? This moderate catastrophe risk written here? Does it mean what I think it means? Catastrophe. Could there be another catastrophe brewing? Pam 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 pam.
みんなついてきて。
あ、
こっちに抜け道があるんだ。
Great Great Horn Rule performs chariot attack and tries to push units that block it. Can be interrupted by negative status like stun and shift. What?
戦況は明白だ。
Initiating data collection.
何時己が道の正しきを疑わずして深みに陥りき。
Come on, Silverash!
図らず何時
Marking significant strengths.
Can I? That's
経験に祈り
what
な
is
さい
it? Saki-chan.
迷っている暇はありませんわよ。
Charge.
決断を何時いずれ浄土を踏み荒らせしことを悔いん。
No! Okay. She was pushed.
神はいずこにも見出せぬものです。
無事に帰ってこれたら勝ち。安心なさい。どんな状況でも
Okay, I
私には見えるから。
only need to defend this place.
決断何時いずれ浄土を踏み荒らせしことを悔いん。
今から戦い方の裏切りってこれ刀じゃない。まあいいや。とりあえず私がね。
氷雪の溶けるがごとく。
Nice.
ドクターと私、きっと今同じ作戦を描いていますわね。
Frozen. Peach. More of them. 5 of 20.
図らず雪がすべて葬るのを待とう。
Well,
図らず氷雪の溶けるがごとく。
well.
神はいずこれは山々より授かりし
Holy hell. That's a lot of damage.
図らず雪がすべて葬るのを待とう。何時いずれ浄土を踏み荒らせしことを悔いん。
Silverash looks fun to use with in a yes. You know, it's still hard getting an audience with you these days. And see this. I am truly sorry I was unable to attend to I am I am truly so I almost choked. I am truly sorry I was unable to attend the matter's funeral. Madame Sirius, I am deeply saddened by what has befallen the Bronte clan. Please let me know if there is anything Clan Silverash can do to help. Thanks, Itiades. But that's not what I came here to discuss. Your visit this time, Madame Sirius, must be to give me a chance to earn your trust. My sister once told me that you are at least trustworthy when you lower your head like this. I wonder about your opinion of me then. You don't have to beat around the bush. I don't like it. My sister used to scold me for being impulsive and for not always thinking things through before I speak or act. I wanted to prove to her that I didn't need to hide under her wing, that I could do something for Clan Bronte. But now, as new matriarch of the clan, there is no one left for me to prove anything to. I understand how you feel. I also have 2 younger sisters. And you think they are very smarter than me, huh? Both ancient antecedentes. You think too little of yourself, Madame Sirius. However, I do think they share your persistence and determination. Is Sensei okay? I heard she was in an accident. Thank you for your concern. She is safe and sound and has already returned home. You always keep that calm and composed demeanor. What I want to know is these attacks on Kierak, including what happened to my sister. Did you know about them ahead of time? So this is the real reason you decided to visit me today. Siodes, my sister has been helping you this entire time, isn't that right? I wasn't totally in the dark about it, but it wasn't until her passing that I learned your plans for Victoria, Rain Lab, and what Monch has been investigating. There's too much I don't know anything about. Don't try to deny it. Don't lie to me, Siodes. You have to know the truth behind her murder. If you truly believe I had a hand in the mother's death. No, that's not what I meant. I don't know what Ratatos was plotting with you, but I know for sure that whatever it was to protect Kierag. So I will follow in her footsteps. Whatever Clan's Browntail's affair may be, I will take responsibility for them. Which is why I need you to tell me exactly what happened to her. My apologies, Silenciosos, but they were determined to break in no matter what. Huh? To what do I owe the honor for all your due to barge into my home like this? Silenciosos, why did Carlan trade transfer all its shares in the Kierag Casimir joining mining operation to Victoria without authorization? Where did this news come from? It is an observable fact. The mines have completely been taken over by the Victorians. It is the rats who believes that such actions by Carlan trade constitute illegal collusion with foreign power, and such, the White Beat Corps has no choice but to exert its authority to intervene. It will require that you report to the White Beat Court immediately to explain yourself. If I understand this correctly, the White Beat Court means to formally interrogate Clan Silverash. The people of Kierag are uneasy about it as it is. The last thing we want is to see this conflict escalate further. However, Silenciosos, as the head of the clan, if you still believe you bear responsibility for Kierag, please go to the Vine Bed Court with us to discuss the next steps. Very well, I have no reason to refuse. However, if I am to explain the situation, I will need some time to review the relevant documents. Please allow me that. Furthermore, I still have some things to do with Madame Sirius, so I would like to ask you for your patience. Of course, Silenciosos. Madame Sirius, thank you for taking your time to look after Encia. I would like to formally invite you to be a guest of Clan Silverash. I would also like to thank you for your concern in person while Encia is present as well. What? It would have been more courteous to have sent the invitation to you in a formal capacity. But given the hasty nature of this matter, the best I can do is to draw something together by hand. I do hope you'll forgive me. We look forward to you gracing us with your presence. With your presence. Before his invitee can respond, Enciado picks up a pen and paper from the table, scribbles down a few lines, then hands the invitation over. Sirius takes it. There's only an address on the piece of paper, hardly an invitation at all. Thank you for the invitation. I'll be there on time. To Mr. Edelweiss of Carlan Trade. I hope this letter finds you well. At the time you read this, I am yet to receive CREV authorization from Crime Lab, so please take note. This letter does not, in any capacity, serve as an agreement of or treaty between Crime Lab and Carlan Trade. Rather, it only represents my personal analysis of the recent phenomenon in Kierag. By specimen comes of the sound waves collected by the observation station at 3:19 a.m. on December 7, 11:01. I can say for certain that at the time, an unidentified object fell from the sky onto Mount Carlan. Though the chain of evidence definitively linking the phenomena is still missing, a catastrophe did in fact occur 32 hours later. I do not intend to establish a causal link between those things. If this crash into a singular event in history, then so too is the catastrophe. What I am preparing to do is to confirm whether or not there is an empirical connection between these two events. Additionally, do forgive my frankness, but if the hypothesis that these two events are linked does bear out, the outcome for Kierag is not optimistic. Whatever factor that has protected Kierag from catastrophes over the millennia may no longer be effective, or at least be in an unusable state. It would, of course, love to write this off as a mere conjecture, but nevertheless, I also hope that Carlan Trade will adequately mindful of the potential risks moving forward. Caroline, an insider with more detailed information, has lately made similar inferences, but I am in the dark as to what her objectives are at this moment. I will strive to complete this research while maintaining an objective and rational perspective, and will greatly appreciate Carlan Trade supporting my efforts. Respectfully, Helena Urbica. Come in. I was looking for you, Director. Take this letter over to Enceodes. Classify it top secret. Yes, sir. Right away. Any other news? Yes, the observation post previously dispatched to the mining site has sent back a sighting report. A convoy bearing Victorian marking is approaching the outskirts of the mine, but the specific origins are unknown. Matterhorn led his clansmen there ahead of time. He said that he would try to stall for as much as possible and wait your judgment. The Victorians will have come sooner or later. Looks like we won't have to wait any longer. Prepare vehicles as soon as possible. Matterhorn may not be able to hold them off for long. Tell him to let the other party make their first move and prioritize observation. I will arrive shortly. I'm warning you, don't get in your way if you know what's good for you. I'm simply following orders. The area ahead is a restricted warehouse, and nobody is allowed to enter without Carlan's trade permission. Has no one informed you that Housecaster has acquired all of Casimir's right to the site? To the best of my knowledge, the handover process is still underway. We were only notified by Casimir yesterday, which is why we have to inspect all the assets in advance. If you have a complaint, you can take them up with Her Grace the Duke. Now, listen to your betters and open the warehouse door, post haste. Finally, someone worth talking to. Mr. Noss is always for Carlan Trade. It seems the introduction I have prepared will be going to waste, good sir. Of course. Naturally, you also understand why I'm representing here. Due to your mismanagement and the resultant substantial financial losses, Her Grace the Duke has decided to dismiss some key employees of Carlan Trade employed at this site, including the former executive manager. To this, I have no objection. I will cover it fully during this handover process. Excellent. Now then, Mr. Edelweiss, please open the warehouse door. However, on this point alone, I cannot comply. What Matterhorn said is true. There indeed are regulations pertaining to this confidential warehouse. I humbly ask for yours and Her Grace's understanding. Based on the information I have, the security clearance level of this warehouse was raised just recently. What do you say to this, Mr. Edelweiss? Allow me to explain. This warehouse is mainly used to store various kinds of industrial waste, but recently the purification system and negative pressure ventilation system both malfunctioned. We temporarily raised the security clearance level and strictly restricted the access in the interim before professionals can handle the situation. I fully understand Her Grace's concern about the assets acquired, but for your safety, could I ask this inspection be postponed? I accept the risk at hand. Just open the door. All else aside, this is Kierak's mind. Should pollutants leak or any other dangerous situation arises, Kierak does not rule out the right to intervene through administrative measures. Before you offer to take responsibility, I suggest you contact Her Grace to do once more. You are. Good to see you again, Mr. Matterhorn. Pardon me, Father. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to wait at reception for now. I currently have business with our diplomatic guests. Mr. Edelweiss, I was expressly invited here by the Victorians. Since when is the Vinebit Court so concerned with temporal affairs? Today, both the clan leadership and the general public are dissatisfied with the way Carlan Trade has been engaging with Victoria. The Great Elder has summoned Sir Enceodes to an inquiry into the matter. Perhaps you will also need to report to the Vinebit Court soon. Why then would a cleric feel a need to accept an invitation to come here before that? I wish to ensure a smooth handover process and hope that Carlan Trade is willing to cooperate to the fullest extent. Please open the warehouse door, Mr. Edelweiss. Even though power has been restored by the three clans, perhaps the Vinebit Court will be more representative of Kierak's administrative measures. Matterhorn, open the door. The door slowly opens, and the Victorian ambassador is caught unaware by the dust that diffuses from within. He squints and fans the air in front of him with his hand. There is neither the smell of industrial waste nor the texture of originating dust. The ambassador's eyes gradually adjust to the vast and unobstructed warehouse within which is nothing but scrap metal. As I stated, there is nothing here but industrial waste. Please leave as soon as you finish your inspection. Staying here for an extended period of time will be detrimental to your health. Everyone, stay put. I conducting the inspection myself. As soon as he enters the warehouse, he feels the vast space around him dilating in all directions. The steel frame is stretching straight to the ceiling, surrounded by scrap metal of all shapes and sizes. There's no way such a large warehouse was set up just to store these things. It's far too pretentious. He approaches the bottom of one shelf and reaches out to rummage through it with no particular aim in mind. The clanking of metal echoes through the warehouse. Wait, it's still half intact, and I can still make out the insignia of Silverash Private Army, the Chagata. Were these originally weapons and gear not probably disposed of after being thrown into the share? An idea bubbles up, and he keeps looking elsewhere. Though Carl and Trade has been quite meticulous, a few clues are bound to leak through. Of this, he's certain. Replicas of Victoria's newest equipment, as well as large caliber naval gun parts. All failures unable to break through the technical barrier. Term designations, the insignias, many other terms in Kiragit language. He quietly memorizes them all. Sir, are you done yet? Yes, I am. The ambassador returns to the group. I more or less seen what they needed to see, Mr. Edelweiss. I will summarize the entire situation and faithfully report it to the Duke. Sir, the internal railway is the main site that has just been cleared, and you haven't had time to inspect it yet. Does Victoria also need to use that internal railway? Yes, we have contacted a number of suppliers for quotes. Using the internal railway can significantly reduce transportation costs. Further, is the Vinebed Court aware of this? If you're so keen to get involved in diplomatic affairs, Carl and Trade hopes that you will also be willing to verify any business entities that wish to join. This concern interrupts the thoughts of the Vinebed Court envoy, who then looks away from the railway. That will require the Great Elder's input. I understand. By Kiragander, I ask that the Vinebed Court not make things difficult for Ensiodes. I will remain at Carl and Trade's headquarters, awaiting your summons. By Kiragander.
驚くべき戦果だ。お前のもたらす勝利には今や慣れたと思ってい
We
たのだ。
have been on the stream for 3 hours. It's been fun. At least. For most parts of it. There was a little clump when the elder was talking to the reporter, and before when Ratatouille was talking to that feline, the basalt. But this been great. Everything else has been great. So probably I can finish this in one other stream. So no problem with that. So yep, that's it for today. Thank you for coming, thank you for watching. I have been Arknights Eternal, and I hope you come back next time. So that's it. Thank you. Bye bye.